Hello everyone, Amazing Gamer 111 here, and the time has finally come. I am a few weeks late, I apologise. Work has kept me so busy. But we're finally here, myself and SuperMarioT finally reviewing the Super Mario Brothers movie. My god, I was not expecting it to be this Mario. Like, it's Mario, but it's also like they made an actual Mario film about Mario. This isn't a jab at the Sonic movies at all, folks. But the Sonic movies were like kinda like Sonic-y. The first movie was just a movie with Sonic in it. Then they did a full-blown Sonic movie, still with some live-action segments here and there. But now they've done a complete full-on, straight Mario film, and it's just absolutely perfect. First, before we go into this and our general response, I'm gonna let SuperMarioT introduce himself.
What's going on? How is everyone doing today? I like that you touched up on the Sonic movies, because I do still think, at least Sonic 2 I think is a really good movie. Sonic 1's fine. It's alright. But like, you were hitting on something, it's like kind of a movie with just Sonic in it. It's like very much like the whole buddy road trip type thing, fictional character brought to the real world type thing. But Sonic 2 felt more like it had more Sonic-y elements to it. But yeah, even though with the trailers, I don't think a lot of us were expecting the Mario movie to be like this on the nose and this much like very Mario-like. With just how many, not even just the references, but just the aesthetic, the music, the soundtrack for the film, all the designs. Like, it actually took place within the Mario world, and I think that was really good. This entire movie was just a lot of fun from start to finish. I already saw it 6 times total.
You're so lucky. I mean, like, by the time I was gonna go see it a 5th time, I got called into work that day, just before I booked the tickets, and then by then, once I had finished that week of work, the theaters had stopped playing Mario entirely, and I was like, no, I only got to see it 4 times. Yeah, I know. It sucks. Because I was gonna see it 5 times. I think they're still
playing it on they're still playing it at my theaters, even after, like, a month later.
You're so lucky. Like, we're so strict about our rules here in the UK. We need to get extended times for successful movies, we really do. Maybe they'll replay it in theaters sometime, and if they do, I'm going to see it 5 times again. But, alright, so let's begin with our general response to the movie. Walking out the theater the first time we saw the films, I was crying! I will admit, like, as soon as the end of the movie and the logo appears as Mario and Luigi disappear into the pipe, and just the logo appears and the music swells to its highest point with the bells ringing in the background. Just tears began to break as the credits began to roll. Like, they did it! Illumination didn't mess it up! And I attribute that to Nintendo, mostly, like,
and
75%.
And then Luma steps in, it's like, now that's a happy ending. Or is it? Because everything's over now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, we're gonna definitely touch on Lumily later on in the review, because they were kind of unexpected with both post-credit scenes, and not really touching on Lumily or why he's in the film. I think they're saving that for a second movie. We'll see. We all know what we were thinking was gonna be the post-credit scene, and it sucks that we didn't get that.
I love that. I love that every Mario fan was literally thinking the exact same thing after Lumili's introduction, and then nah, it's nah. Just the Yoshi egg.
It's like, no, you get all your Easter eggs throughout the movie. No more. Go home.
I respect that this movie made you cry, though. By the way, because after the second trailer, I'm like, this movie's gonna make me cry, isn't it? It didn't. For whatever reason, it didn't. The third time watching it, though, I don't know what happened. I don't know what hit me that time compared to the first 2. I felt tears welling as I'm watching it, like in the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't cry, but it made me feel something as I'm watching the movie a third time. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, because like the trailers did so much that were like, okay, they can't throw anything else at us. This is all the Mario we're gonna get. It's not gonna be much in between. No, they don't stop throwing the references and the nods and the winks to the longtime fans and the new fans. Like, dating back to the Super Show, when that commercial came out, my heart stopped when that became friggin' public, and I was like, no, they're doing Super Show. It's a Super Show movie.
I found that out while out shopping at ShopRite. I see it on my phone in my car, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in my car.
I saw your video on that.
No way, dude.
It was just incredible, and I think the old actor for Luigi during the live action segments of the Super Show actually played Luigi's dad. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or if that's just...
Wait, Mario and Luigi's dad?
Yeah, like the guy that says, "Did they give out an Oscar for worst actors?" I think that was the original Luigi actor from the live action segments of the Super Show.
No, that's Charles Martinet.
Oh, not Mario's dad, like not the guy that says, bloody hell, remember the line, you don't leave a steady job for some crazy dream. He gets, like, the guy that gets whacked by his wife and says, "What I do." Or was that also Charles Martinet?
That's both Mario and Luigi's dad.
Oh my god.
He's voiced by Charles Martinet.
Was it, that's like 3 people in the movie he voices?
It's at least 2. He voices the dad, and I think his name's Giuseppe. I still don't know if that's accurate or not. The guy who plays the Donkey Kong ripoff.
Yeah, Jumpman. I usually just refer to him as Jumpman. But yeah, other general response things was like, I was happy that they didn't push, like, as we know, and I'm going to take a few jabs here at Disney throughout this review because they absolutely deserve it after recent years. They have been just pushing bomb after bomb after bomb in animation and kind of just like using the excuse, oh, COVID's the reason no one's going. We can't push these many animated films out. If Mario's taught us anything, is that they have been lying to themselves and everyone about, oh, COVID's stopping people from going out to the cinema. Yeah, that didn't stop Mario from making $1 billion. Oh my
God. $1.152. I forget how much. It made more than Minions. It's literally Illumination's highest grossing movie ever.
I think it was around Rise of Gru where people, like, decided, Illumination, you know what, fine, if you're gonna be nuts, we're gonna be nuts with you. And then we got Gentle Minions. Just, Illumination's
it is also ironic, too, like, we shit all over Disney over this, which is like, yeah, I do think it's kind of deserved. But, like, Disney animators are congratulating the Mario movie for hitting the successes it has. Disney CEO did the same, like, a few days ago. Like, Disney's celebrating the success. So it's like, it's not exactly like they're like shitting their pants or just like twiddling their thumbs. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
How is Mario making more money than us? And like it's this stern competition between the two when it's not. They're just like, oh, congrats,
people put in their thumbnails, Disney's in panic mode. Oh no. It's like, no, they're not. They're congratulating them.
Plus, Disney's like a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate too. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, like, if, I think the whole downgrade in animation started when they started, like, cancelling out stuff like the Owl House Season 3, which I'm still so mad about.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that show ended, I also cried there too. I never cry when shows or movies end, but these particular shows and movies, just like, I cried. So I didn't cry at Endgame, but I cried at Mario. Huh? Of course.
I think the last movie, I almost cried to A Silent Voice, and I saw that like 2 weeks ago. The last movie I think I cried to was Luca, but like that specifically, it's like certain lines, it's something I would literally say to one of my relatives who like passed away like shortly after like that happened. So that just like hit harder at that moment in time for me. But yeah, for the Mario movie, like nothing particularly made me cry, but like there were like a lot of moments I'm just like, oh my god, this movie's hitting on so many good notes everywhere. Not even just the thousands of references it has, just like how faithful and well written all the characters are, how Mario like the aesthetic is, all the worlds, just how faithful the entire source material is to the games, like far beyond the references and everything. They like cared about every single aspect and making sure it was as close to the Mario games and all the characters were as close to their game counterparts as they possibly could. It was so good.
Yeah.
For the most part,
yeah. And we will get into those, like, tiny little nitpicks here and there. Why? In a bit. Because throughout the film, even while watching the first time, as much as I loved it, I noticed, oh, I wish they did a bit of this, or a little bit more of this, a bit less of that. Including even down to the soundtrack. Illumination. We love this film, but give Brian some credit for his music. Come on, you didn't need to use Take On Me in the DKC section. Why?
That's an L, yeah.
That's a major L. One thing
I thought it was funny, but like theme, that is a missed opportunity.
Definitely. I would have loved to hear Swanky's theme though, like a slight da-da-da-da-da-da while he crashes or something. Or the classic da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da when, you know, when you die in DK country in the first game. and you hear that little death jingle. That would have been funny to hear in the soundtrack.
Yeah, give Brian Tyler some credit, but also give Grant Kirkhope credit, because they didn't even credit him for the DK rap
Exactly!
when DK showed up.
Exactly! Because, like, having Banjo-Kazooie be one of my favourite games of all time, and then seeing him who composed the music for DK Country and the original DK rap, and didn't get credited, yeah, I understand why he was pretty pissed on Twitter, and I'm totally with him on that. Give him, like...
I don't blame him.
It's not too late, though, to edit the credits for the final release on digital and on DVD. Please, Illumination, come on, you've given enough fan service, just tweak the text. We're not asking you to reanimate something in the movie, it's just a few lines of text. Just credit the man, please, he deserves it.
He does.
God. But overall, general responses were just... loved it. It was a great movie, it was a fun time, breath of fresh air, and, to go along with the "You are Mr. Gay" from the Mario Galaxy memes, we now have "You are a Mr. Movie," which is awesome.
Oh, I thought it was "You are Mr. Bye."
You are Mr. Bye! Wahoo! Oh, and we will get into the wahoo, or specifically accents of actors, in just a moment when we begin the story. So, let's begin. The movie itself opens up with... And I'm not sure, like, I felt okay with this, but some people were disappointed where the movie opens the same way the teaser does, with Bowser invading the Ice Kingdom with the 64 penguins. I was okay with that. A lot of people were like, oh, they kind of spoiled the first 15 minutes in the marketing. It's like, that's the same from the trailer. That's also from the trailer. I was okay with it.
3 minutes to be more accurate, but yeah.
Yeah. One thing I did like, I was wondering what the Illumination logo would be with the minion, because I knew there was going to be a minion. And they used Mario Kart as a base. Okay, that's kind of cool. Nintendo Pictures, it's just called Nintendo, but I think they might change it to Nintendo Pictures when they actually, like, have their own film company produced after this film. Just have it be the classic Mario and Luigi, just hitting the block and have the Nintendo logo pop out. That was nice. That was simple but sweet. The extended version of Bowser coming into the kingdom and seeing all the Koopas just roll out in their shells was cool, with the spears and all. You got the Mario, like, airship music from generations of airship themes, which is epic.
Yeah. For some reason I thought you said... Yeah, when you said Generations, I'm like, wait, Sonic... What do you mean Sonic Generations?
Sonic Generations!
Hey, but no, because they remixed that airship theme across multiple Mario games since Mario 3.
Yeah.
I was so confused for a second. No, but you were right. That was such a good touch, though, that they used the airship theme for when Bowser's whole castle was coming in.
And, like, this is also a good time to notice the first piece of music, and they don't play around. Brian doesn't play around with this movie. The music gets intense when Bowser's on screen in this movie. Like, it is genuinely... It gives it that cinematic feeling. Like, Galaxy was definitely a high point, but this is the next step, honestly, because this is intense. This is Bowser's theme, and he means business in this movie. Not to say that he's been a joke up to this point, but Bowser is genuinely threatening in this opening scene. You know, the whole army's coming out, and then just slowly the swirls of the snow form in magic to form Magic Koopa, or Kamek, saying, "Behold, the king of the Koopas!" And there's just silence until the doors open up and Bowser's revealed. Jack Black kills in this movie, but that wasn't a surprise to any of us. We knew he would do well.
I mean, literally one of the first lines of the movie is literally, "Open the gates, or die."
Or die. I was surprised to hear the word die in a Mario movie. Bowser said die.
I mean, hearing it once wasn't too shocking for me, but, like, characters are out for blood in this entire movie. Luma Lee, Donkey Kong, the Blue Koopa General Bowser, literally everyone's talking, like, life and death and killing one another. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, legit.
Can we have more Mario games like that?
Yeah, make some games, like, with this kind of character inspiration stuff. It's really working for me. The penguin doors open up, one of the Koopas is scared for their life until they see the penguins are like, it's like, huh? That's what we're fighting? Of course, we get some, you know, a first step of copyrighted music instead of Brian's amazing score of the penguins fighting Bowser. Exactly what we saw in the teasers, just one of the penguins throws a snowball. And something funny, an extended shot again. It was going to hit Magic Koopa until he teleports away and it hits a Koopa Troopa instead. That actually got a laugh out of me when I first saw it.
Oh, that was cute. That was funny.
He's like, nope, bye-bye. But yeah, that was pretty funny. We all know how the rest of the teaser plays out. Now just but a taste of our fury. Do you yield? I do not. And torches the castle completely. And I thought that was just gonna be it. And, like, he'd take the star, but I think it's less of, like, it's less of taking the star that really sells Bowser as a threat, but leading up to it. Because, like, after the whole kingdom, or the opening gates are destroyed, how distraught the penguins are, and the king is just like, no, and Bowser just stares up at that golden glow. And Magic Koopa, every time he uses his wand, I'm so glad they used the world. Was it the Mario World sound effects that they use when he uses his wand?
Yes.
Yeah. And forms like stairs of ice, which is cool. And he's just like, oh wow, I wonder how much Kamek is straining holding his boss's weight like that. Because he's a chunky boy in this movie. Bowser, he's a pretty big boy.
I mean, Kamek's magic has always been pretty strong, though.
Oh yeah, he blew Mario into space, which was shocking. Still, Mario Galaxy, S tier, favorite game. No caps.
Yes.
So Bowser, of course, gets the star, quite violently breaking the block holding the star open. Like, it literally cracks open and just bursts. No, I finally found it. No one could stop me. And of course, we all predicted again. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We're the Mario Brothers, and plummets our game. And we get the rap.
We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your stick is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
Oh, yes. Again, the classic line of thank you, Super Mario Bros. The only thing you haven't drained is my bank account. Again, based, like you said once before.
Yeah, the whole commercial was so good. Them lying on the stools to, like, simulate they're flying with the capes, the whole Mario World cape feather nod. Freaking... What was the other one? And the way they're, like, going like, all in with the Italian accent. So it's kind of like a gateway bridge for that, like, this is a different Mario and Luigi than what you're used to in the games. And then, like, that segues into Giuseppe, the guy who plays Donkey Kong, who's voiced by Charles Martinet, the actual voice of Mario. And that's, like, kind of, like, passing the torch off to Chris Pratt. I thought that was... I don't know if that was, like, completely planned, specifically just for that whole voice passing on type thing, but, like, I thought that was really clever.
Yeah,
it was so smart.
Hearing the natural Mario, like, coming from Giuseppe on cinema screen, like, too much, it's perfect! That was nice to hear a little snippet of that.
I'd be down if Giuseppe cameoed in, like, every Mario movie from here on. I don't know how you could make him cameo in every Mario movie after this one, but, like, you could figure it out.
Fun fact, actually, in a lot of different languages, Giuseppe is still played by Charles Martinet in at least 7 other languages, like different versions of the movie. He's still played by Charles Martinet, and that's really nice. I'm glad that they did that. And of course, now that we're on to voice acting in Mario and Luigi's opening in the film, we knew Charlie Day was going to do well as Luigi, because it's like basically a more Brooklyn-sounding Charlie Day. But Chris, I gotta say, I had my doubts. But I was sold in the first 10 seconds of him talking. He's absolutely amazing as Mario. I love it.
I did not doubt him. I didn't hard believe him, but I'm like, he'll probably be fine.
It's like, you knew the whole time. Oh my god.
I legit, I didn't think that much of it. Like, yeah, the trailers didn't leave a lot to be desired, because, like, everyone thought he sounded bad in the trailers, but, like, literally after the first or second one, I'm like, it's probably, like, one of, like, the weaker lines. Which, like, yeah, like, for some games or other pieces of media, it could be hopium copium. But, like, with movies, they always do outtakes. With trailers. Like, lines not in the actual final product. So, that's exactly what they did with Chris Pratt and Mario in this movie. And that's not the first time movies have done that with this movie. Like, they've done it for years. So, I thought it was going to be the same. It was... Chris Pratt delivers a good job as Mario, in my opinion. I don't think he's the best actor of the bunch, but, like, I think he does, like, a good job, all in all.
He does a solid, like, Brooklyn accent that just differentiates him from just the normal Chris Pratt voice. And, you know, after 10 seconds of hearing Mario talk, saying, I'm so glad we spent our life savings on this commercial. That is not a commercial. That is cinema. I was sold. And I didn't think of Chris Pratt, like, for the rest of the movie. I just heard Brooklyn Mario. And I loved it.
Yeah.
Me
too. I basically heard him too.
And then after Mario and Luigi agree, that was a good ad. It was really good. Of course, we get Spike on the other side of... They're in Punch-Out Pizzeria, by the way. Love that.
Yeah. There's, like, NES cameos and references out the wazoo literally every time you're in Brooklyn. anytime you're in Brooklyn, they're everywhere.
This is definitely a blink and you'll miss it movie, and I love those kind of films.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Mario is very much like established by Spike as like when he's belittled, just said, "You're a joke, you always will be, get it through your tiny brain." Yeah, Mario's the belittled, underestimated underdog. We kind of knew, but I think that's the best direction for Mario. Mario has daddy issues. Finally, a movie that I can relate to. No, but in all seriousness, Spike is like, it's weird. They got like a celebrity cameo to play Spike for 5 seconds. Like, Spike ultimately doesn't add anything to the story, and it's the first major example of they cared about the fans when they were writing this. They really did.
Yeah. One thing I will say though, I kind of want Spike to be in like Mario Kart and like Mario spin-offs now after this movie.
Yeah.
I think he'd be good for like a character in the spin-offs. But I like what they did with Spike. I didn't think he'd be this like big brolic beefy looking guy, cause he's like kind of scrawny looking in the original Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, he is. I love that. I love that like they made him just this big buff bro. It's hilarious.
Man ordered an entire pizza pie, only ate one slice, and just left.
He just dips. And he just he didn't even like wait for the cashier, just chucked the money on the table, like, keep the change. And Marion, of course, throws at
orders
Luigi.
one pie, doesn't eat the rest, doesn't elaborate, leaves.
And there's slight shade thrown at Luigi by Mario, saying, "You can't be scared all the time." You'd be surprised. I wonder what that's hinting towards. We'll see. Foreshadowing. Something fun that me and my younger brother, because the first time I went to see this, my younger brother and I went together, and the unknown number on Luigi's phone that calls him next is a Mii. And of course, him and I, both growing up on the Wii, loving it as the best console ever, just looked at each other like, "It's a Mii, it's a Mii, it's a Mii on the phone."
And the jingle is the GameCube
the
style
GameCube
jingle too.
sound, yeah. And of course, they get a call after the first commercial saying, "Drip in your faucet, we'll be there right away." And it was really cute just seeing Mario and Luigi jumping and hugging, saying, "We're in business, baby!" I was like, yeah, here we go, boys. So they rev up the car, but of course it's not working, and we get the second pop culture song. This one I didn't mind, because it actually fits. It's No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn. Makes sense. This is actually the second time they've used No Sleep... Illumination has used No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They used it in Secret Life of Pets. It fits here as well, but it fit in that movie because they were already in Brooklyn. That's 2 movies now it takes place in Brooklyn. And of course we get our first cavalcade of references in just a couple small shots. While Mario and Luigi are hopping and jumping through the streets of a construction area, it's like a side-scrolling level of Mario, level 1-1. How awesome is that? Yeah,
we get a couple of moments like that where it's this 2D perspective and the characters are just trying to get from one area to another. It's really cool. And the construction zone had like these little crates and yellow paint cans too, like organized in the same order of the blocks like 1-1 and the first couple levels of most 2D Marios too.
Yeah, and it's like, this is what's fun about rewatching the film like 4 times in cinema, because the first 2 times I saw the film, I was like, my focus was fully fixated on just Mario moving around, and I could just hear Luigi in the background tumbling. But when I actually see what he does on the third view, I could see he's knocking people down into manholes and getting stuck in cement. And that was just... just such a dork. And seeing Mario jump on a little pole at the end of there being like a little burger joint which is in the shape of a castle. Yeah, we all know. End of level, the little castle at the end. That's fun. That's cute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And of course, Mario and Luigi eventually arrive at this huge, gorgeous white manor house. And of course, we jump inside. They've been called to fix a leak in the bathroom. There's a dog that very much looks like a Secret Life of Pets character. And also, it's like a Secret Life of Pets rendition of Doug from the movie Up, which is a Disney film that needs no introduction.
There were a lot of comparisons to Doug.
There were. And it's like, it's cute though, until Luigi steps on his chew toy. And me having a fear of dogs once, before I got my German Shepherd a couple years ago, yeah, I can relate to that. I was quite scared of dogs, and just seeing the dog just slightly go, oh, yeah, I was like, oh shit's about to go down with that dog and Luigi. The drip in the faucet in the bathroom wasn't too bad. Mario and Luigi, just like with one slight switch of a wrench, were able to fix it. Perfect. First job done. until Francis comes in the room, or Francis, sorry, and just spits out the broken bone, and the way the dog just slams the door on the camera, it's like, oh no, here we go. And what's funny, we get a few, like, tidbits here and there of Luigi being a little less competent at the job at Mario, making mistakes. Like, Mario just looks at the drip, it's like, oh, it's just a little drip. Luigi's checking the pipes, and of course it spits back in his face. Lovely. Nice. Nice to see Luigi is belittled.
Mario's good at his job. The dog literally just screws everything up. He knows where to look when Brooklyn floods. He knows how to do his plumbing job, bro. The dog literally just screwed it up.
He did, and they were done in there, and they could have at least, like, I would have thought on the first viewing they could have called the people to say, hey, come take care of your dog. But then, of course, while the place is breaking, they think they could probably prevent the leakage and deal with the dog as long as it's, like, locked in the shower, and they'd be able to fix everything. So Mario, like, nice. This is the first piece of foreshadowing, like, in major what happens later in the movie by comparison. The dog attacks Luigi, Mario gets his attention, and then Mario, like, backflips or somersaults backwards over the dog and locking him in the shower area. So, you know, we're fine. The job's still done, nothing's broken yet. A couple shampoo bottles tipped over until the pipes start rattling and everything starts leaking and everything, and the mirror comes out and Luigi tries holding it back. There's another piece of foreshadowing that will again be presented in the final act. Tiles of the floor come spilling out, and eventually the shower's pipes break and Francis starts to swim his way up to the top. Mario luckily fixes the water pipes and flushes the water down, but that didn't stop Francis from getting to the top, and leaps out at Mario and Luigi, only to fly out the freaking window. And then what happens after that is, like, this is cute. I did like this. There were two significant references I noticed right off the bat. One was the kind of the chandelier and some shelf pieces kind of looking like, oh, there's a little, that's like, it looks like a block. Or it looks like a lucky block in between, or lucky block, that's not Minecraft, in between some brick pieces. And also, the guy is reading something about galaxies. I wonder.
And Gateway Galaxy is the planet on the cover, and right next to him, there's like a Pikmin statue.
There was a Pikmin statue. I knew I'd recognize her from somewhere. I wonder if Pikmin, like, we got slight hints of Pikmin at Super Nintendo World. Little side conversation here, but I noticed, are we going to get something at Super Nintendo World with Pikmin? Because I put Pikmin in the Super Nintendo World teasers with Mario, and Miyamoto really loves Pikmin. I think they did
say, like, they're gonna, like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it was Miyamoto or someone else, but I feel like they said they were gonna, like, hide Pikmin throughout the park here and there to, like, let you find.
Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be, like, a little hunt for whoever finds all of them first.
Yeah.
Yeah, get, like, a special Pikmin, like, a figure or a gift basket of Pikmin, just collectibles. That would be cute. They should totally do that. But what happens next? Mario and Luigi barely save the dog just in the background while the classic jazz music is playing in the living room. You can just hear, Ruff! Just lovely. They grab him by the butt with the plunger and pull him back in. The man and lady come through the bathroom door to see, oh, what was all that racket about? Oh my god, our bathroom is destroyed, and the dog's head is in the toilet. And Mario's like, I found the problem. And
totally not a good look for them.
Nuh-uh. Their first gig. Yikes. And we don't even need to see what happens next. We just cut straight back to Mario and Luigi's, like, family home to know, yeah, things did not go well. By the kind of distraught looks on their faces as they walk in. But quickly just turn bright when the family greets them, just saying, Ayo! Which is how I greet all my friends. But instantly, just their fathers start making fun of them, and their uncles just say, did they give an Oscar for worst actors? Lovely. But it's nice to see that their mother is supportive as always. A mother's love is forever. That's very true. And Mario is, of course, upset about, you know, how his dad... We see Mario and Luigi without their gloves on. Apparently that's a big deal. It's like, oh my god, their hands are normal.
I just like how, like, we even got a look at Mario and Luigi's family. Like, I don't think we ever got a look at, like, their other extended family at all in any of the games.
No. I think the closest we got...
get, like, a slight tease of them in Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, I was just about to say Yoshi's Island, but that was it. That was all we got. But yeah.
So, like, this was really surreal, but it was also just really cool in general.
I also noticed there was a kid there amongst them as well. Like, you got all these adults in Mario and Luigi, and then there's just a kid there who kind of looks like Handy Manny, according to Twitter. Not sure who that is.
I kind of want to know if we'll... Yeah, I want to know if we'll ever get, like, any, like, extra intel or extended looks at the other family members. Because, like, we know the mom and the dad, but it's like, are they, like, other brothers and sisters, uncles, cousins, like...
Yeah, and also the grandfather gave me massive Luca vibes. Just because, like, we don't see his eyes, they're hidden by his eyebrows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that.
That was really cute. Just hearing his old man laugh. It always makes me laugh whenever an old person laughs like that in an animated film. Of course, Mario is belittled by his dad, saying, I think you're nuts. You shouldn't be leaving a good job for just some dream. Now, this is where I thought, oh yeah, they worked for Spike before. I wish if the movie was just 20 minutes longer, we could have seen that. I would have, like, really liked to have seen Mario and Luigi working for Spike a little bit, and then quitting, or them having Mario and Spike having, like, a shouting match, or something about, like, you two are awful at your job. Well, see, let's how well you do without us then. That would have been nice to see, just to get a little... Because we see Mario have an outburst Donkey Kong a bit later, so to have that foreshadow with Spike, who's also a big buff guy, that would have been nice. A nice setup and payoff. There's a lot of nice setup and payoffs anyway for the film, though, so I can excuse that. Maybe we'll get a flashback like that in the sequel, who knows. But of course, after that, Mario just walks off to his room, leaves the dinner table, and he's playing Kid Icarus. And of course, SMT lost his mind in his review about that.
Bro, like, you could have let him play any NES game. Literally, do you know how many NES games there are? There's like hundreds. There's so many. And they said, nah, let's make him play Kid Icarus. I'm like, what?
Oh my god.
Now that game is in a movie where it's the top 5 highest grossing animated films ever. Oh,
it's like literally
I'm sitting pretty right now with this movie.
It's like when you put something in a movie, then everything in that movie, not just the film itself and the characters, but every little nitpick Easter egg in it, is there on mainstream media to be remembered by everyone forever. And now Kid Icarus is finally part of that crowd, because before this film, not a lot of people thought much about Kid Icarus, but now it's all people talk about, and it's like, I played a little bit of Kid Icarus, because my dad actually has an NES, and I was like, oh my god, wait dad, how many games do you have? And he had the original Mario Bros, and Kid Icarus, and a few others I can't actually remember. I think he had, was it the second Mario Brothers? It was on the SNES? I can't remember. But yeah, it's nice to see them going way back and be like, hey, let's throw some stuff in that's like totally unrecognizable, but some people might still get. And of course, MarioT was one of the people who got it. So good for you.
Oh yeah, because I love Uprising. So that was already an easy way to make me happy, but I know a lot of people are probably going to remember Kid Icarus from that and be like, oh yeah, that was not a good game back in the day. Because Kid Icarus is not that good of a game. Really, the only saving grace the franchise has is literally just Uprising.
Yeah. But then after this, we get our first proper look at Mario and Luigi's, brother dynamic. MatPat, eat your heart out. It's time to prove that theory wrong. Mario and Luigi do really care about each other. So, eat that.
I don't know if he fully buys into that, but it is like a thing that like a lot of people just bought for no reason. Just like, no, what are you guys doing?
It's like Mario stepping on Luigi's foot. It's just brotherly banter. Me and my brother do that. Doesn't mean I hate my siblings. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Luigi brings in some dinner for Mario, which is cute, after he turns off Kid Icarus. They're saying, you're not bringing me down. It's like, everyone's telling us we can't do anything, and just sick and tired of feeling small. It's like, yeah, I feel that, Mario. Then Pauline makes her grand appearance on the cinema. Yeah, awesome. I wonder if she actually is, like, if she's either just a famous person in the city, or she actually is the mayor, or whatever. I don't know.
She was elected mayor. After the commercial bit back at the pizzeria, there's like an ad on the TV that plays the news, and the little title card at the bottom literally says like new mayor like elected or something to that effect. So like they are talking about how Pauline was elected mayor for Brooklyn.
Oh, nice. Oh, so she does. Oh, she does get to be Mayor. That's cute. I like her voice, as brief as it is. It does really suit her character. So, oh god, what was that? My sister's playing with toys outside. Right. So, of course, Pauline is just saying we're very close to fixing a current issue because there's a flood in her area, and of course the workers who are trying to fix it are freaking out, saying, "Someone help save Brooklyn!" And Mario's like, "Oh my god, this is it. This is our chance, Luigi. Come on, let's go!" And there's a slight bit with Luigi saying, "Destiny's calling. Destiny Del Vecchio from high school." I don't know if that's just a funny little bit, just calling back to, I don't know, some crush Luigi had in school, or if that's an actual reference to something. I don't know. Is that just a funny that they did for fun?
I think it is just a funny they did for fun.
A funny for fun.
Because that name doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. But they get moving over to the flood scene, and it's this where the soundtrack pops off for me, because it's like that determination music of Mario and Luigi turning up to the scene. They're like, "Whoa, this is cool. They're gonna save the day. It's gonna be epic." And up to this point, I was like super happy. 14 minutes into the movie, we weren't even in the Mushroom Kingdom yet, and we were just in normal real world Brooklyn. And I was like, "Huh, I'm actually enjoying this, despite not having like the Mushroom Kingdom here yet. Can we just get a full movie just in Brooklyn with Mario and Luigi?" Because this is like, so far for 14 minutes, has genuinely worked. I've loved it. Just seeing them being plumbers and nothing else. It's just fun. It's cool. But they arrive at the scene. Of course, the workers are doing absolutely nothing right. Just like, "Oh, I got this." And the pipe just bursts up in his face. And Mario's just a total jackass, just saying, "They're not even looking in the right place, amateurs. Come on, Lou." That's another cute thing with Mario. He refers to Luigi by Lou. That's adorable. I love that. So yeah, Mario then finds a sewage cover, opens it up, and just like, I think that might also be the same sewage cover that Luigi uses to defend Mario later, because of course it's not put back. So I wonder if that's the same one.
True. Also, people theorize too that Brooklyn floods because that's the melted ice from the Ice Kingdom when Bowser raided it earlier.
That would make so much sense, actually. Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, that would be cool. I like that theory. I like that. That's going into my headcanon right now. I won't have it any other way. So Mario, well, at least without Luigi at first, jumps in to the sewage system, which is still completely flooded. It's like, "You are not seriously considering..." Mario leaps in. Aw, Mario. Being Luigi and in his position, yeah, I would not want to just jump headfirst in a sewage system. I'm like, "Oh, fine," and just leaps in. I would be totally hesitant to go down there. It's like, I want to do this, but I don't want to get my hands dirty. Of course, working as a chef's apprentice now on dishes and desserts, that's kind of thrown out the window. But still. So Mario and Luigi, trundle their way through the sewers and the flooding waters towards the pressure valve. But of course there's no bridge to get there, so they had to climb across a pipe. We have Luigi say, "Mamma mia." Lovely. Lovely Italian representation of Mamma mia. Charlie Day doesn't actually do a bad Mamma mia as well. It's pretty good. So they climb across to the valve, only for it to completely snap, and the pipe to bend and smash Mario and Luigi through a wall. I didn't know there would be a hollow wall there. I thought they were just going to get completely flattened and fall down the dark abyss. But yeah, they failed completely, but they're not beat yet. And Mario and Luigi make their way through this massive pipe system, which was teased only in one teaser. We got to see them looking down at all these different pipes, and it makes me wonder how bad is the plumbing here? Because these pipes are leaking all over the place. But Mario and Luigi make their way down past a sign called level 1-2. Haha, wink wink, very funny. And we see a green pipe, and Luigi just looks down and I'm like, oh, here we go. This is it. This is where it begins. And you can hear slight taps on a piano of the cave theme from Mario levels, the do 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 do, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the underground level theme.
That's just really cool, just seeing it slowly build up. And as Luigi is sucked into the pipe unknowingly by Mario, because you can hear like the spanners and stuff dropping, hitting the pipe as he's pulled in, and I'm like, oh no, oh he's gone. After that, Mario just pulls up a wrench, just like, Luigi, you in there? Then the wrench is completely pulled through. I'm like, oh Mario, it's your turn, here we go. And as Mario is pulled into the pipe, much to his shock, you can hear the final few notes of the underground theme of the and Mario's sucked in, and it's like, that's awesome. I love that we got that as Mario gets pulled in.
And the warp zone looks really beautiful too.
It does. It's like this like pinky, orangey, fluffy cloud world between worlds kind of thing, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And there's multiple different pipes going to different places. Of course, we know the one Mario takes ends up to Mushroom Kingdom, Luigi to the Darklands. And there's there's a few different pipes in that area. It's like, oh, I wonder where they go. Do they go to, like, the Sand Kingdom? Or some people say, oh, they might go to Legend of Zelda. And I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know, guys. Of course, if they end up doing that, I'll take that back. Mario quickly, like, after being completely shocked by what's going on around him, is like, what is this? This is so weird and trippy. He rushes down to Luigi and grabs him by the hand, says, everything's gonna be okay as long as we're together. Nope. The plot says otherwise, separate them. And Luigi gets pulled away to the Badlands, and Mario to the Mushroom Kingdom. And it's actually like, I don't know if it's just me, but the voice acting here from Chris Pratt sounds like really genuine when he yells out for Luigi. I don't know if that's just me, but it sounds like true fear in Mario's voice. Like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to him? No, come back. I was like, oh no.
It sounds good.
It does. It sounds really good. So Mario gets pulled in to the Mushroom Kingdom and looks around. He's completely distraught by everything. They cut out the "what is this place" line, put it earlier, to where it sounds much better, because when it was in the teaser and people just heard Chris Pratt, "What is this place?" everyone was like, huh? Well, that's not Mario. I don't like it. That's me being a hypocrite, because I was part of that crowd. But then Toad jumps out and just said, don't touch that mushroom, you'll die! And we actually hear Mario screaming, which is weird, because they didn't have that in the teaser. But you can hear Mario screaming now at this mere sight of Toad. Having Toad, like, speak without that, oh, hey Mario! Ah! Just without that really grating voice. And hearing Keegan-Michael Key play him, he actually does a pretty good Toad. It's like a more raspy...
He brings out a good character for Toad, for sure.
He does. And it's like, it's a different kind of personality for Toad, because usually in the games we're used to seeing him so, like, skitterish, right? And kind of scared, even.
Yeah.
So to see him take on this, it's like, oh my god, this guy's cool. I love Mario. Come on, let's go and have an adventure. I like that. It very much leans towards the Captain Toad leader thing. I think if they ever do, like, some sort of short, they'll give the Captain Toad role to just the normal Toad from this movie. And
yeah,
for movie lore, yeah, I'd like that. That'd be fun. Because he has the backpack and everything to boot already.
Oh, yes.
So he takes Mario, like, through the area of the forest towards the main area, the Mushroom Kingdom. And, oh yeah, it's established earlier during the dinner scene that Mario doesn't like mushrooms. Something movie Sonic and movie Mario can relate to.
That was such a funny coincidence. I didn't expect Mario to hate mushrooms off the bat. And him liking it later on makes sense. But just, like, movie Sonic's literally, like, I don't know if they planned that at all or not, but, like, that has to be the wildest coincidence I've ever seen.
I feel like that might have actually been a nod to movie Sonic. And just the fact that it's Mario and he loves mushrooms. And having them both say they hate mushrooms. Funny. I do think that might be a coincidence, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a full intentional nod as well. Considering Nintendo and Sega's, quote, rivalry. So, Mario explains to Toad his brother's been, like, pulled into, like, this dark, cloudy pipe, and with lava, and Toad's like, oh, that's under Bowser's control, that's the Darklands. And the way Mario says Bowser is the most Brooklyn way anyone has ever said Bowser. Just
Bowser?
Bowser? It's like if Bowser was spelled B-O-W-S-U-H instead of E-R. Bowser.
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 It's from Bowser.
Luigi, look! Bowser! I wonder if that was a nod to the way he said Bowser in that. That would have been funny if that's the case. So, we get to see, in all its glory, once again, Brian Tyler's... is it Brian Tyler?
It's between him and Koji Kondo. I don't know which songs each person does, but
yeah,
they're both the composers for the soundtrack in general.
Yeah, but Brian Tyler's, once again, amazing score just pops up with the grand Peach Castle Mario 64 theme when Mario gets a good look at the Mushroom Kingdom, and it sounds just so glorious. It really does, and the soundtrack just keeps getting better from here. And it's like, okay, our big adventure begins now, Mario. Let's go! Right, hang on, Luigi, I'm a-coming. And they cut the Mushroom Kingdom, here we come line. Thank God they did that, because it was so cheesy.
Yeah.
So,
and then they cut to the Darklands, right, where Luigi's at?
Yeah, and we do get a little snippet of just Luigi being the little scaredy cat he is. We hear a slight, bit of the Luigi's Mansion theme, which is cool, but something that I loved and only noticed after listening to the soundtrack itself. The main theme for the Darklands is Deep Dark Galaxy, which is
just...
I love that song.
I would have predicted Deep Dark Galaxy as a song in the Mario movie for years. That's such a weirdly deep cut, but I love it.
It is, because that was the first level, I think, when I was a kid playing any game, I actually felt fear, because the atmosphere of that galaxy is so quiet, and all you can really hear outside the water is just the music. And it's so cinematic and creepy. And I love it, and it fits the Darklands so well. And Luigi, of course, eventually, he gets scared by some bats in a tree. And I can really relate to Luigi's situation, because once I was out in the forest at night.
And those are the bats from Galaxy specifically, too. It's not just the swoopers from any Mario game. Specifically the Galaxy bats.
Yeah, I remember distinctly what the Galaxy bats look like. Either completely wiping them out, or just spin attacking them as soon as, I was one of those people that killed everything in a Mario Galaxy level so I could have infinite star bits or coins.
Same.
Definitely 100% complete Galaxy or bust when I play that game. But Luigi eventually runs into some dry bones, or one of which chases him down. Luigi, trips against a tree and is knocked backwards into the dry bones, killing it. And the way Luigi's body is positioned on the floor with the dry bones head just in front of his, oh my god, Luigi's dead! Oh wait, no he's not. That's just, he's just behind it. That's cool. And we get the Luigi line, when it comes back to life and pulls itself back together. I kind of wish they had recreated the sound effect for when the dry bones pull themselves back together. That would have been fun.
Yeah, because they kept the sound effect where he, crumbles.
Yeah, I'm at least glad they did that. Because, mostly, dry bones are most nostalgic for me in, terms of, or memorable to me, from the new Super Mario Bros. Wii game. Because, of course, Nintendo Wii, and that's the only new Super Mario Bros. Game I've ever played. So, but still, just hearing those sound effects is just really nice. It makes me feel recognized. But he pulls himself back together. Other ones start crawling out of the ground in rather malicious ways as well. They reach their arms out, literally shaking, and they look like legit monsters. And I'm like, wow, is this not going to scare any of the kids in the audience? But I'm glad that they don't play it down.
They are zombified Koopas, at least, so it makes sense.
And the way the dry bones are created with the movie lore that we see with Bowser later on is quite funny. It's literally just a Koopa Trooper just fired by Bowser, legitimately burned alive. Kind of makes them immortal as well, which is really creepy. Also, wish we could have seen the boos in the Darklands, a couple boos, because we see King Boo later in the movie. So one or two boos would have been nice, just hidden in the background, I guess. But oh well, we gotta save the boos for a possible Luigi's Mansion spin-off. Fingers crossed, please.
No, actually, I think that could be smart, because, aren't all the boos locked away in Luigi's Mansion, and then Luigi accidentally sets them free?
Yeah!
That's Luigi's Mansion lore. So they could stick with that. That would be smart.
It would be. So Luigi eventually is, the amount of dry bones you can see chasing him after Luigi escapes in, one of the abandoned castles or clear areas of the Darklands is just like, there's like hundreds behind him. When you get a wide shot of Luigi walking or running past the camera towards the castle doors, and you can see behind him, the mountains are jam-packed, chock full of all these dry bones out for blood. And it's like, oh my god. Some of them even get knocked into the lava by other dry bones clamoring on top of them. It's just, wow. And Luigi, you know, finally gets in there. We see a little bit of what, a hint. I guess the whole scene was just a hint at a Luigi's Mansion scenario. Luigi thinks he's perfectly safe. You know, he's left his plumbing stuff behind, but at least he's okay. We're fine. No, he's not. Lightning strikes. There are Shy Guys behind him. Oh no. Luigi's Mansion kind of pilot scene. I would love it to see that be a full movie. I'm rambling. Fun. We hear Luigi scream and we cut back to the Mushroom Kingdom. Again, what we saw from the teaser, but a slightly more extended piece, where we get to hear the full Fossil Falls theme as Mario and Toad approach Toad Town, is what I'm just going to call it.
Yeah, oh, it was so good.
It's wonderful, honestly. It was just so, like, because Mario Odyssey isn't even that old, so I was expecting only to hear old Mario music in this, but no, they pull out recent things, like even Mario Kart 8 in a bit, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
So we all basically saw the clips, so we know Mario just, like, taking in the Mushroom Kingdom, Toad just yelling out in front of Mario, his brother is going to die, get out of the way! And Mario just looks so pissed. What? No, what are you saying? Why would you say that? I'm right here. It's like, nah, it's fine, I'm just trying to get people out of the way. It's for a path to clear, let's go.
Yeah, and just passing by all these toads, just like a crazy cap shop in the background, and then the cheap sheep in the bag, and the antique shop. Just like nods like all over the place, but also Mario just being a fish out of water in the whole scene.
Yeah.
Just in awe of everything the Mushroom Kingdom has to offer.
There is like 10 different Mario themes in this. You get Fossil Falls, and then you get the Toad House theme, the Mario Brothers theme.
The underwater theme for like 3 notes, and then like the underground theme, and Super Mario 64, Mario World main theme, and then you have like a bot at the end of it, and the P-Switch jingle from New Super Mario Brothers as well.
Yeah, and like not even, that's just the soundtrack alone, like in the visuals, there's so much, and even in some of the voice acting. Is it confirmed yet that Charles Martinet played that one mushroom selling a cartridge, saying like, oh, you just had to blow into it to fix it? Was that Charles?
Oh, that I have no idea. Actually, I could look that up.
Yeah, definitely look that up.
Because you did mention...
Mario continues to make his way through the Mushroom Kingdom, right up to Peach's castle, coming out of a pipe right in front of the place. Oh, Mario 64, wink wink, saw what you did there, guys. And there's these 2 toads blocking the castle doors, saying, like, oh, what princess? I never heard of princess. Oh, I did. Our princess is in another castle, though. Glad that was in the movie. Also, these 2 toads in particular guarding the castle, the blue and yellow toads, the toads you could play as in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I have to believe it's those 2, in particular. Like, these specific colours could have entirely been a coincidence, but considering everything in the movie that's happened up to this point, it wouldn't surprise me if that was 100% intentional.
Potentially. Where? Sorry, I'm still...
He's still trying to find out.
Yeah, Oh, they are uncles. They are uncles. I just realized Mario's fan. There's like Uncle Tony, Uncle Arthur. I didn't realize Uncle Arthur is voiced by John DiMaggio. That's based. Okay, the guy's name is named Giuseppe. Who did you ask if Charles Martinet voiced him? Oh, the guy at the shop. Right?
Yeah, the guy at the shop, the toad at the shop.
The antique shop. Let's see. It doesn't say. It just says Charles Martinet is voiced as Mario and Luigi's father and Giuseppe.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then.
Oh, wait. Is it a yellow... Wait, is the shopkeeper a yellow toad?
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, I mix it up with... No, oh, wait, no. No, I'm thinking... I mix it up with the yellow toad in Peach's Castle later on. It's voiced by Jessica DeSico. Might have butchered that, but... Wow, she voices a lot of characters in this one. She voices Pauline. She voiced Diddy Kong, I think.
Oh, wow, she did a pretty good Diddy Kong.
Oh, yeah. She did a good Pauline.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Pauline's voice still. It's fantastic. It really does sound just like how Pauline would sound. It's like, they really had to get the voice actors right here, just as a side note, because they had to, if the characters were going to look a certain way, it's important for this is voice acting 101. Voice actors have to match what the character looks like. So if you're going to, like, you can't get a low-voiced guy to voice like a 10-year-old boy. Or else you end up with like, what about my mom and dad? Mom, dad. This is essential voice acting.
When can I leave to be on my own?
Literally! I'm old enough to be on my own.
Yassify Pinocchio.
Like, that line alone always gives me, well, excuse me, princess vibes every time I hear it. If they ever make a Zelda movie, please don't give him that voice. Please. I don't think anyone would be able to sit through an hour and a half of that. Mario, while Toad is distracting the guard, just cooking him up some grub, he sneaks into the castle. There's a nice bit where he passes by some toads just laughing. He's just like, okay, hey guys, salute. And they're like, yep. Wait a minute, intruder! Another Easter egg I referenced here on the third viewing is that when Mario, like, stops in the hallway...
When he slides, right?
When he
it's
slides,
like
it's the old Mario stopping sound effect.
Sound effect?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he runs at high speed in Mario 3.
It's just so cool. It's like, that's why this movie is just so good to watch more than once. You can't watch it once and catch everything. You have to watch it many, many times. And it's not a boring movie, so it's actually fun to watch more than once.
Exactly. Yeah, see, it's funny you say that, because a lot of people do attribute the pacing as one of the movie's weak spots, which I do kind of agree, but at the same time, like, the fast pacing does help in that it is not a boring movie. You're never going to be bored. There's always going to be something happening, something's going to be established, like... There's always just going to be something that'll happen in this movie that you're going to want to pay attention to. It's just that certain scenes and certain character moments and developments and whatnot, they don't sit on long enough to flesh out longer than what people would have liked. Like the Donkey Kong stuff, Mario and Peach stuff. Like, they could have sat on some scenes more. Like, I feel like at least half, if not more, of the movie's problems, they literally just amount to, damn, I wish there was more of that. It's basically most of it.
And then after that, we get to... kind of like the Toad Council, the Mushroom Council scene, where we get to see like a nice 8-bit, 16-bit look at the entire kingdom area, like the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond. You get to see Yoshi's Island, the Desert Kingdom, the Darklands or Bowser's Kingdom, and his airship. He has the Power Star now. And the head of the council, the Blue Toad, I gotta say, it should have been Toadsworth.
Concept art had Toadsworth in it, man. That makes me sad. I know the production started way back in 2016, 2017, so people have theorized that, like, the whole mindset for, like, what kind of Mario characters they could and couldn't use was different to how it was now. I don't know if that's a factor in it or not, but, man, I don't know what Nintendo has against Toadsworth. I really wish they'd stop trying not to use him.
Yeah, because, like... I mean, I get that they want to tone down Toadsworth because he was a big piece of, like, Sunshine, which is, looking back, yeah, a controversial game, but I still had fun with it. I have 3D All-Stars on
I don't even think it's Sunshine specifically. I think it's just, like, the whole, like, Toad thing, because, like, he's an old-looking Toad, and all the other Toads literally look the exact same. The only different Toad is Toadette, but they're trying to make her the only female Toad now.
Oh, please don't. Nintendo Illumination, don't make it a Smurfette situation. Please, don't make the second movie all about Smurfette. Fucking, you know what I mean, Toadette. Toadette, Smurfette is the same thing! No. The only female in the village. We know that's not the case now because we've heard Toads with, like, female voices and male voices, so...
Yeah, and names and whatnot, which is cool, but, like, they could go harder with the designs. They could.
They could. Because at the end of the day, they're just recolors. Which I guess, you know, looking from a production standpoint, it's easier, it costs less money. But...
Oh yeah, that is true. For the movie, yeah.
And of course, it's not like something new to Mario. It's not like they're just doing it to save money, because this is a normal thing for Mario. So, it's pretty clever in retrospect. So, if we ever made a movie, we'll make them all the same color, or more the same shape and body type and all that. And all the same voice, but just make their heads and shirts different colors. Boom! Perfect. No one will ever question it. And we never did. We never once did. Until now. Until Toadette happened, and then that all got thrown out the window. We do see Toadette on the poster, though. So that's cool. That's cool. At least we got some sort of Toadette. Thinking also, if they had used Toadsworth, they could have used the classic super cartoony strategy of only animating his mustache and keeping his mouth hidden behind it while he talks, just moving his mustache, like, up and down, left and right and such. That would have been funny to look at.
I did see a tweet of someone saying, I am now modding the Mario movie, but they just, like, redid the scene where it's the blue council Toad, and it just looks like Toadsworth. So I just thought it was funny.
Oh my god. I could totally picture, like, if they ever used Toadsworth in a film, John Cleese could have voiced him or something. But basically, the council says, Bowser's got the superstar, he's on his way to the Mushroom Kingdom, will be destroyed. And another Toad in the crowd says, what do we do? Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach steps in, quote, girl boss, I say, BS, she's just a ruler, looking after her kingdom. Twitter, shut up. God.
Peach is woke in the Mario movie, and I'm like, that's the best part!
The best part. I think we can both agree, Peach just, Mom! Like,
Mommy.
Mommy. She
No,
slays.
Peach was great in this movie.
She so slays in this movie.
She was so good.
Ayo, that motorbike screenshot, that don't lie. That don't lie. That is not an edit. That's not an edit, guys. That's real. But Peach is good in this movie. And up to this point, I have been a stan of Daisy until the end. But in this movie, gotta say Peach won. Peach won the competition of the simp competition. God. Anyway.
I mean, like I said.
Anya Taylor-Joy does a really good job as Peach. People say she should have been more high-pitched. I personally don't mind how she sounds in the movie and how she acts.
I think it works.
It works. For a film, yeah, I like it. And she's determined to stop Bowser. She says she's going to recruit the Kong army to help stop him. It's great. Cool. She's got a plan. And so their mad king doesn't make alliances. They'll never agree. And Peter's like, oh, I can convince him. And this is when we start to run into some more, like, fairer problems with the film. People saying, like, I'm gonna do this. No, that won't work. Don't worry, I'll make it work. It's like, okay. Of course, on my first viewing, I didn't really notice, but when people point it out, it's like, yeah, it makes sense that people have those issues, specifically, like, characters make decisions without a second thought, but at the same time, it's a Mario movie, not Schindler's List Part 2, guys.
It's that, but I also kind of took it as like, well, when she allows Toad to follow her, and then even though Mario doesn't beat the obstacle course, she still, like, lets him tag along. I kind of just took it as, like, she needs all the help she could get, because, like, as far as Mushroom Kingdom defenses, Peach is literally all there is to the Mushroom Kingdom's, like, actual, like, I guess military in a way. The Toads can't do shit.
Yeah,
dude. They
are marshmallows.
Exactly.
They will literally, like, that walking stick Toad uses in this first scene, yeah, getting fried on that thing. So, even in Mario Galaxy, we got to see the two Council Toads with Peach, as the Bowser airships approached her. They were hiding behind Peach.
I love how Mario runs through the castle, too, and then, like, he finds Peach, but then, like, she shoulder throws him. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Oh, your mic's jumping again. But yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. We get a slow-mo moment, yeah, of just like, princess, and as Mario is grabbing a hand, bam, on the floor. And Peach is like kind of taken back.
The shoulder throw is pretty funny.
That was good. And her being kind of like taken back, and just before Mario, like, he gets his cat back up on the floor. He's not even fazed by that. He's just the fact it's like, okay, I found the princess. I really need to talk to you. This is really important. And then he gets bodied by like 5 Toads, which is just great. And of course, Peach says, "Wait, release him." And one of the Toads just kicks Mario like in the shins. Anyway, at first I thought one of them kicked Mario in the balls because it was that close.
No, I think, yeah, and then it was the kick had like the Goomba stomp sound effect too.
Yeah. Ooh, poor Mario. He just can't catch a break in this movie. That's another problem people had. People said, oh, Mario's acting stupid. It was like, well, so did all of us in our first playthroughs of a Mario game. Don't pretend you guys were perfect.
Exactly.
And
this is literally Mario's first trip to the Mushroom Kingdom. He doesn't know how to platform yet.
Yeah. Like, that's another thing I love about the movie. It's like, are these bricks just floating here? What are all these flying platforms? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I'm glad they don't explain it with some sort of like, oh, it's just the gravity or the power star powers everything. No. It doesn't matter. It's Mario. Who cares? It's fine. Just leave it. We have roads made of rainbows here. That's just how we work in this world. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I'm glad that they just never bothered to explain it. Because, you know, if they did, they'd
keep the magic, mystical, whimsy feeling of it all. We don't have to give a scientification to everything that happens in Mario.
Exactly.
You did that with Star Wars, and it kind of ruins the fun.
Mm-hmm. Who cares what Yoda is? He's just some old guy in a swamp. Don't need to know what it is.
No, it's like establishing, like, Anakin. It's like, oh, how are Jedi selected? It's like, oh, it's like the midichlorians. It's like a scientific thing. It's like, no. Bro, why?
Yeah. So Mario tells Luigi. No, he doesn't tell Luigi. He tells Peach about Luigi. It's like my brother and I. We fell down this pipe, and now he's lost in the Darklands. And Peach says, "Okay, well, let's see what you're made of then," and takes him to the training course. Oh yeah, not before Peach freaks out about Mario actually being a human and also squishing his nose.
It was so cute.
That was adorable. Like the little jumps that she does, like, oh my god, he's a human. That was really cute. I was like, oh. Peach is actually kind of adorable in this. I never thought I'd think Peach was cute. But yeah, she takes it to the training course. I think when she honked his nose, they should have played like a clown honking nose sound effect just for comedic purposes. That would have been funny. So Mario's taken to the training course with a pretty banger opening of a soundtrack. And the training course is in like a giant question mark block. And it like pulls itself apart to become like mechanical piranha plants and like fake bullet bills, and of course the checkered flag, and it looks really good. And Peach says, "What?"
And the donut blocks and snake blocks.
Yeah, the snake blocks. They always mess me up. The snake blocks were the bane of my existence when I was a kid, because I just for the life of me could not. Especially when I was like playing with my younger brother, he would always run in front of me and cause him to fall. It's like, no, what are you doing? He'd always throw me off. But Peach, of course, it's weird. They showed a clip of this scene of Peach completing the course in full a day before the movie actually came out. And I was like, wait, why are you showing
Yeah, they did. And I tried so hard to like, no, I'm not watching that. Not watching that. I'm waiting until tomorrow. I'm waiting.
Yeah, but I watched it
I did the same for Peaches. I heard there was a song, and they did release the music video on Peaches like a couple days before it came out, but I didn't watch that either.
Yeah,
so I saw
that.
Peaches when I actually saw the whole movie.
Same. I didn't want to spoil myself
so
with Jack
funny.
Black's vocal piece. I did not want to spoil that for myself. And luckily I held off. So Peach completes the course, of course, with the classic goal sound effect happening at the end. Mario's
Yeah,
like,
and
wait,
the jump
how
she
am I
does
supposed to do
too.
that?
It's the jump from what's it called, Mario World.
Yeah, there's so many moves implemented, just like when Mario and Peach are completing the course, that are from the games. It's like there's long jumps and everything throughout the film, and
Yeah, long jumps, wall jumps, ground pounds. So good.
it's just it felt so. It was validation, just complete.
They did their homework.
They did.
You know this is a movie made by Nintendo because they knew what they were doing.
Absolutely.
Let them cook.
Let him cook. Like, who let Nintendo cook? Whoa. Oh, by the way, the most, I want to say the most accurate representation of, like, how a character looks in comparison to the games is probably, like, Kamek and Toad, because they look most in line with their video game counterparts out of everyone. Except for Bowser, you could say he looks kind of like his Smash Brothers model.
Kind of, plus his shoulders are green, and then they fade into the yellow that the rest of his body is.
Yeah. What happens next is Mario is told to complete the course. Oh, how the hell am I supposed to do that? With the power-ups. They give us special abilities. But Mario gets a mushroom. And of course he hates mushrooms, so he refuses to eat it until he gets the stare from Peach. Another simp moment there. Great. That's 2. But Mario is eventually, like, too hesitant, and Peach just forces it down his throat. Like, oh, there we go, and all gone. I mean, did the mushroom, by the way, have any eyes? Because I think in, like, the 2 or 3 perspectives we saw, it didn't have eyes. But, like,
in the promo material it does, but in the movie I didn't see eyes. I did not see eyes on the mushroom.
It's weird. Because, like, the fire flower and the ice flower have eyes.
Yeah, they do. It probably does, we just don't see it.
Yeah, maybe we're just looking at it from the wrong angle. But yeah. And it's here we begin, we get like a nice little opening before the actual montage of Mario completing the course begins. Of him starting, he grows big, and, you know, he's around Peach's size now. Which I thought in the promo, I didn't even notice that Mario was actually, like, a larger size when he was in that shot with Peach saying, "I got this, no
I
problem."
thought, after the final trailer where they could form mushrooms, I pieced it together and I thought, wait, oh, they're gonna show us the mushrooms at that part, isn't it? Because literally, Mario's shorter than Peach in every other instance of the promo material through this movie. Except for the training course part, where he's literally as tall as her, so I'm like, oh, we get the mushroom here, don't we? And then she hits the block, and I'm like, I knew it, bro. I called it. I knew it.
So Mario, after one jump and a little wahoo, completely just fucks it up and falls into the ground.
The
below.
first gap. The first
friggin' gap. Like, that's mid, Mario mid. And he falls down a pipe in the waters below and loses the mushroom. And of course, oh yeah, when you get hit, you lose the power-up. Again, the movie being just so amazing, not bothering to explain how any of this works. I'm glad it never does that, not once. And Mario just gets another mushroom. And I have to wonder, in movie universe, does that mean, like, when someone loses their power-up from the block they got it from, once they lose the power-up, does the block, like, regenerate with the mushroom? I have to assume that's the case, because every time Mario loses it, the mushroom regenerates back into the box. Which would be cool. That's a neat concept.
I want to say the course was designed for that, because, like, the obstacles aren't, like, the actual things they're trying to represent. That's not, like, real bullet bills. The Bowser things are cut out, so it's fake. So, I want to say for that course specifically, it regenerates, but for, like, most other instances in the Mushroom Kingdom, it probably doesn't.
Yeah, it makes sense if that was the case. Again, not needing to explain how that works. So how come it only does it here and not other places? Don't matter! Don't ask about it! It don't matter! It's a Mario movie.
I also kind of like, too, with this whole obstacle course thing, I want to say, like, Mario's stubbornness and determination to not give up. I want to say that's also a metaphor for lives in the game, too, because we don't see 1-ups anywhere. But, like, it matches how much Mario keeps going and doesn't give up, and he keeps redoing the course over and over and over again. Just like how we die, and we keep going over and over again. So I want to say that's a metaphor for the 1-ups and lives in Mario games.
Yeah. And, of course, we get I Need a Hero throughout the montage, which... Brian Tyler's score, again, is cut out.
For most of the licensed music, in my opinion, I don't think it's bad. It's just like, I could have done with the remix of the game score a lot quicker than Take On Me, I Need a Hero, Beastie Boys. Like, nah.
And once, like, I Need a Hero started playing, I was like, okay, I'm not so upset that I Need a Hero is playing, or not so upset that copyright is playing, but the fact that it's specifically I Need a Hero, where we all know that after Shrek 2, no movie is going to peak using that music ever. It peaked in Shrek 2, and no other movie is going to beat that, so don't even try with I Need a Hero in any other film after that. Yeah. Never will beat it. But of course, Mario has multiple fails until that final run at dawn. It's like, okay, here we go, I'm gonna do this. And he freaking nails it! And when jumping through the bullet bills, like the fake bullet bills, he's right there at the flag. Peach looks up at him like, oh my god, is he gonna do it? And Mario pulls a Riz face down at Peach and loses concentration.
Riz face, super Rizio. He gets distracted.
And gets bitten by a mechanical
lost because he didn't have the Sigma male grind set.
It's weird, because every character... Everyone, like Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Peach, Toad, and Bowser, they all get Riz in this movie at some point. They do the they do the freaking DreamWorks face. Like, you get it with Luigi in the opening commercial, with Donkey Kong later on when he like has that Riz look at Mario inside of the eel. Toad gets it when he's on the monster truck. I think Peach gets it like when she's flirting with Mario, or when Mario's flirting with her. Bowser gets it when he says, oh...
She gets it when Mario wins the fight with DK and she looks at Cranky Kong.
Yeah, that's it. And Bowser, of course, gets it when he's asking Peach to marry him. More on that in just a moment as well. But of course, Mario fails, but Peach still takes pity on him, saying, well, got a long journey ahead of us. It's like, well, I didn't win. Well, you almost did. How many tries did it take you? Oh, so many. And she pulls a shit-eating grin at him, which I just... still laughed at in the theatre. And then later, I think what happened in the next scene, do we see Luigi be taken away by the Shy Guys in the next scene?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's taken away by the Shy Guys into a blimp, and basically what happens...
No, wait, I think it's the scene where we're at Bowser's castle, and then it's the scene with the Shy Guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so next we get a full-on introduction to Bowser's proper army, basically playing Bowser's Fury. Let's go.
That was a nice touch.
That was really cool. Of course, selling Jack Black's promotion of like Bowser's like a heavy metal rock star. Loved that. And of course, Bowser has all his minions gathered in the main chamber. You got Chain Chomps in there. I think one of the piranha plants eats one of the Koopa Troopers, which is fun.
Yes. Yo, piranha plants look terrifying
They
in this
do.
movie. I love that.
I don't know if I was the only one that felt this, but they very much, like, the way they were animated, they very much feel like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. You know, the man-eating plant movie? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. Of course, you got Bob-Ombs as well. I don't know why, but when I first saw them in the trailer, I was like, Bob-Ombs! They got Bob-Ombs in the movie, and they're not wind-up toys! I have to wonder if the pink one, like from Mario 64, is actually part of this world as well, if that's the case.
I feel like it has to be, since Bob on Battlefield we see later on.
Yeah, and we also see King Bob-Omb, who looks glorious in movie form.
Yes, he does.
He had to. Why did he have to go? Why did he have to? Why did he kill my man King Bob-Omb?
He just showed up for a wedding and fell asleep and then just died.
I love how like they played him up as like the lazy grandpa of the Bob-Ombs.
I mean, I buy it.
I'd buy it, you know.
And then like Bowser's like giving his whole plan to his army of like
Koopas, Goombas, and Spinies, whatever those things are.
Yeah, and to like take over the Mushroom Kingdom and marry Peach in a fairy tale wedding, Odyssey style.
Everyone's reaction to that was just perfect. It's like
yeah. Did you say man? The Koopas are also voiced by, I forget his name, but the guy who voices Robin in
Teen Titans Go.
shows.
Yeah, I love that. It's brilliant, and it's fact like I've told multiple people who have a deep disdain for Teen Titans Go that like the Koopa Troopers, including the one that gets fried, is played by Robin's V8, and they were like, "Good, I can now say in canon Robin from Teen Titans Go has been killed by Bowser."
And I love how it's like the Koopa's like, "What if she says no?" And he literally gets fried into dry bones. That was such a good gag.
That was
a
great.
really good gag.
I love it. Like the Koopa next to him isn't phased by it. It's like, well, yeah, keep your mouth shut next time, dude.
It's like that's just the thing that just happens at Bowser's castle often.
This is a regular occurrence. This ain't anything out of the ordinary for Bowser and his minions. The people complaining, a certain critic who we will not name, saying, "Wow, Bowser forcing Peach to marry him or destroy the kingdom if she doesn't. That's like kind of weird and creepy." And I'm just sitting there like, oh, it's almost like that's something a villain would do.
He literally does that since the first Mario game.
It's like, don't you even know Mario lore? Are you a fake Mario fan? Common knowledge, this has been a thing.
I'm pretty sure there are like other fictitious like brands and series that do something like basically exactly the same.
Literally. Like, this is known by just, not even just the Mario fandom, but by the general public. It's a normal concept for Bowser wanting to marry Peach. It's normal. This has been a thing for ages. Why is it only a topic of discussion now? Odyssey did it! And that was like in 2017. That was 2017, wasn't it?
Super Paper Mario did it back in 2007.
And 2007. God, has it already been that long? Bowser's plan is to marry Peach or destroy the Mushroom Kingdom. And then we cut to Luigi being taken away by the Shy Guys in the Darklands in a blimp. And we get a nice little flashback to Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Something I was not expecting at all in this movie.
Me neither.
And
that was such a good touch. And, like, they're literally on model from the games, too.
They are.
They look exactly like they do in the games.
I love that. And the fact that they have, like, the beady eyes like the Toads, but as adults, they're normal people. I love that. They really cared so much. They could have just made them, like, wide-eyed babies. But they didn't. They stuck to their models. Like, it didn't matter to them what they, like, they didn't want them to be too realistic at all. It's like, oh, if they have beady eyes as babies and normal eyes as adults, then fine, whatever. We're paying respect to source material. I think they wanted to be this accurate because they remember with the first Mario film that they can't be inaccurate anymore. They have to be on point.
That was part of the reason, yeah. Miyamoto confirmed that in an interview.
Yeah. Because they knew last time, it's like, we can't mess this up. We have to be accurate to everything this time. I think that's why they were so heavily involved. Not because they were worried about Illumination probably messing it up, but because the fact that they had failed in a Mario film once. and they blame themselves for that. So
Probably.
yeah. It's glad to see them like really caring this much about character designs and staying accurate, even as babies. Mario has always been there for Luigi, and now Luigi's just all on his own. For the longest time, he's been away from his brother, and he's kind of unsure about what's going to happen to him now, because he's in a completely different world. He doesn't know where his brother is, if he's even alive, and he's been taken away by these weird masked creatures, and it's like, wow, it's a pretty deep situation for someone. Like, I couldn't imagine being thrown in that situation. But of course, we come back to Mario and Peach. It's main morning now, and they're on their way to the Kong Kingdom, past the horde of toads who were cheering for them. They're all counting on us, no pressure. And in the middle of Peach's speech, before she leaves, one of the toads interrupts her saying, who's that guy? Who's he? The look that Peach gives is like the wide-eyed, he's not important! And everyone cheers, of course, and Mario completely like, I can't remember if Mario just like wasn't fazed by that, or if he was a little insulted in his facial expression.
I don't think he was fazed by that,
but
he still waves bye to all the toads before going in the pipe.
Yeah, I love how the toad on the left just rolls his eyes as Mario waves as well. It's like, oh, get out of here, dude.
They're on their way to the Jungle Kingdom, and then like the toad from when Mario jumped into the Mushroom Kingdom like shows up.
Yeah, and he tags along.
He's just like, hey Mario, it's like, how you doing? And Peach is like, do you know this guy? It's like, and Tail's like, oh, we're best friends. But are we? Are you sure about that?
You sure about that? And Toad is just completely oblivious to the question, saying, don't worry, princess. I will protect you. I fear nothing.
I like that. Yeah, I like that they try to establish the main Toad as, like, more courageous as the other Toads are.
Yeah.
So, like, kind of like, it's not, like, a huge margin, but they do try to differentiate this one from the other ones in some way, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did that as well, because for the main Toad, it definitely works. From the very first.
It's kind of ironic though, because like I don't even think Captain Toad from Mario Galaxy is that courageous too. He's
no,
kind of
he is absolutely not. Yeah, he was scared at the mere sight of Mario just in a bee suit when he first saw Bee Mario. So, but yeah, they go on their grand adventure. A little montage is shown of them going through the Sand Kingdom and Bob-omb Battlefield and what was that one level called again from? Was it Mario Party? The minigame area. I forgot.
Wait, the Cheep Bridge, right?
The Cheep Bridge, yeah.
Yep, level 2-3 for Mario 1.
Yeah, that was it. God, that's the one that always slips my mind. That scene was cut down as well. Like, as soon as Mario gets attacked by the Cheep, it's cut down.
Do you know if animated movies do, like, extended cuts or director's cuts or anything to that nature?
No.
Because I don't think that's... If they do, I'm pretty sure it's not common.
Yeah, that's not a thing that happens an awful lot, like, at all. Because that's, like, only 2 seconds extra. Like, they could have easily shown the rest of the scene and then just slowly faded once the thing was pulled off Mario and attacked Toad. Then we eventually cut to Yoshi's Island, yeah, I remember now. And we get a slight little few notes of Super Mario World. And that's cute, seeing one of the Yoshis being like, oh my god, look at these guys, and Mario's drinking out of a peach. That was cute.
No, he's eating an apple, and the pink Yoshi's just like, what's blood doing?
What's blood doing?
And then they climb the rocky peaks, and they look like the rock candy mines from New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah, and when they reach the top, they look out at the horizon. There was actually, I saw this on Twitter the other day, there was an edit of that scene in particular where Mario and Peach and Toad are looking out at the horizons of rocks. Someone took the Angry Birds movie of, like, the Cave of Wisdom in the Ancient Tree, and just put that in the background as what Mario was looking out at. It's like, oh, that's funny. Okay. Because it looks just like it, like with the lighting and everything. And then we get...
They cut...
Peaches.
The Peaches.
My god, this song, guys. Just, mwah.
Bitches!
Bitches!
I love the last him saying Peaches sped up and just this was so funny. Like, the first time seeing Peaches though, that was genuinely funny.
It was. And it was like halfway through the song I heard Peaches until my younger brother just turned to me and said, it kind of sounds like he's saying bitches, and I never heard the song.
He knew immediately. He knew almost immediately. Because you do hear it a while. It's like he's saying peaches, beaches, bitches.
Bitches. It's slowly transitioned into bitches. I wonder if Jack Black did that on purpose.
Bitch ass.
Bitch ass. Kamek interrupts the song, and Bowser's just like clawing at his piano like, what? Now he's got news of Mario being in the Mushroom Kingdom, and this is the first instance where they actually, or the second one, I don't know if the fire breathing in the
I think
Snow
it's the
Kingdom.
first one. There's like 3 at least in the movie where they rip clips of Bowser from the games and just put them in the movie. They did it with Shy Guy too. The snippets, they gave him an actual voice. There's the actual Shy Guys, like they use like the little wow from the actual games.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did that. And I'm glad a lot of I wonder if the Goombas will talk in the second movie or if they just have no voice. Because I'd like to hear.
We
what the
don't see them talk. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the only one that talks are like the Koopa Troopers. And all the
Yeah.
other ones are just non-sentient. Well, they're sentient, but they don't talk. Like, the Bob-Ombs can't talk, the Chain Chomps don't, the
Yeah.
Brown Parts don't. But the Hammer Bros, they definitely have sentience, like the Koopa Troopers. So.
Yes.
I got off track. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Kamek is saying to Bowser, there's a mustachioed human in the Mushroom Kingdom. They're up to something. The princess has trained him. And Bowser just thinks, okay.
He's trying to get like intel on like how Peach thinks of Mario and like Mario period, and then like he's playing the underground theme on his piano, and Kamek's like injecting like some like coin sound notes, and then the power up sound effect, and then the 1-up sound effect into that too. It was so good.
Yeah, and it's like, I love that Bowser gets so specific with the questions like, does the princess like him?
Sire, look in the mirror. You have nothing to
Licks his
worry
lips. He literally licks his lips.
He does, he has a... He does that a lot in the movie, it's pretty funny.
I mean, like, he's old, but it's like low-key, like, people say he's gay, and I'm just like, you know what? I could buy that. I could buy into that. Why
Yeah.
not?
Especially since, like, when he dresses
as Peach, so, like, the foundation's there.
Especially since, like, that scene where he does dress up as Peach and, like, says yes to marrying Bowser, he actually goes in and sticks his tongue out for the kiss, and, like, hold on a minute.
Yeah, he was going in.
He was going
It was
in.
so funny. Yeah. Also love how that's just like a new Super Mario Brothers Wii nod, because that's exactly how he fakes you out in the final fight with Bowser.
The piano is covered, the cover of the piano is just slammed down onto Kamek's fingers after Bowser says he's not threatened, and just yells, find out who he is and what they're planning. May I lift the cover? Not yet. Pain is the best teacher.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the Fire Flower Field scene with Fire Peach, and then, like, them having a talk, and then Peach saying, like, oh, I don't know where I'm from, bro.
Yeah.
The only memory I have is when I first arrived here, and then Baby Peach flashback, and I'm just like, oh my god.
She's so cute.
Why are they doing flashbacks?
There's so many
flashbacks. Expecting
flashbacks.
this.
She's adorable as a baby, though. Like, little baby Peach.
Yes.
She's so cute.
But she's the only baby with, like, actual eyes, though.
Yeah, they show her growing up in the kingdom and how she's crowned princess. And I have to wonder if, like, and I had this theory way before Matt Pat had come up with it, but for movie lore, could they make her, would she be the daughter of Rosalina? I don't know. Maybe.
I doubt.
We'll see.
Doubt.
Doubt. Yeah, you doubt? You don't think so?
No.
No. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because we also have, like, Daisy, who we're probably going to establish in the next movie.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe it's a post-credit scene. I just want to see Rosalina. Yeah, after that, Mario just says, maybe you're from my world. Well, there's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies. I'm so upset they didn't follow up on that. After that, we go back to Luigi going to Bowser and being taken in by the Shy Guys. And then we get the scene that everyone said, oh my god, Bowser has thirst for Luigi. It's like, yeah, Twitter went nuts over that one. And the interaction is actually quite menacing. Like, this is one of Bowser's more menacing scenes, where he, like, pulls out, he sharpens his claws and holds Luigi by the chin. And even, like, straightens his hat a little bit as he's talking to Luigi. And Luigi's probably, like, completely shitting himself at this point, where there's a talking dragon in front of him. Not to mention he's sitting on a throne.
First time meeting Bowser.
Yeah, and he's asking about Mario. He's like, do you know this guy? And Luigi's like, no, totally not. Ah, tough one, I see. And starts tugging at his mustache. Of course, Luigi still continues to be loyal and denies it. until he gets one hair pulled out, and then Bowser just yanks an entire side of Luigi's mustache. And I'm like, oh god. It's one of those scenes you can look at and feel the pain. Like, in that specific part where the character's pain is in their body and you could slightly feel that. Like, I could feel, just below my nose, I could feel like my skin was being pulled. And I was like, oh no, don't do that, that hurts. The next line from Bowser, do princesses find him attractive? Only if they have good taste. And then he just yanks off the mustache anyway, despite getting the information that he needed. And Bowser is like fully like, okay, get him out of my sight. Let's see how tough this Mario is when he watches me kill his brother. And at that point I was like, Jesus Christ. When he watches me kill his brother, okay, this Bowser, he ain't fooling around. I like that they wrote him as an actual menacing character in his menacing scenes. He's not a joke in this movie. Well, I mean, he is, but when he's actually evil, he's not a joke at all. And I love that. It's something that's been kind of, like, I don't know if this is just me, but it's been kind of lacking in the recent games. It's like, yeah, Bowser's just the bad guy who steals the princess, but he's been lacking in that kind of, like, super dark, edgy, scary side of him. And this movie didn't tone it down at all, and I'm glad. I don't know if that's just me who's been feeling that way, but I'm glad it's here for this movie.
I don't know if he hasn't been feeling that in recent memory, but they do lean more on, like, the comedic side of, like, it's not that serious, but, like, some of the RPGs kind of play into the more serious factor of Bowser being a villain. Galaxy plays into it. So I do like it more whenever they do play into the more intimidating side of Bowser. When they balance it with, like, the goofy comedic side, though, that's, like, where he shines the best. And this movie does do that, too, with, like, the Peaches stuff. And, like, him just, like, not having zero tolerance for, like, anything that even slightly suggests the opposite of what he wants.
Luigi is caged up, and we meet Luma Lee in all of his horrifying, broken mind logic of, ooh, welcome home. And, of course, the penguins are locked up as well, saying, don't mind him. He's a bit cuckoo in the head. And it's in the same world, it's the same, he's called crazy. And we kind of hear, like, some actual Luma sound effects, which is cute.
Yeah.
And Luma Lee continues to lose his mind, saying, there's no escape. The only hope is the sweet release of death. We saw most of this in the trailers, but it's still nice to see in the full movie. And having the King Penguin say, please, we are depressed enough. And he just keeps going and going. He knows he's annoying the characters, but he knows, like, he thinks there's no saving them, so it's like, oh, what's the point? This innocent little thing. People say this was an Illumination move. I don't know. Do you think this was, like, Luma Lee being a creepy child with thoughts of death was all Illumination's idea? Because I'm not sure.
I have no idea. Because, like, Lumas are a lot, like, sweeter, more innocent in Galaxy, but, like, their whole purpose in Galaxy is exploding and dying into stars, planets, comets, etc. So, this does kind of play into their whole purpose in Galaxy. So, it's hard for me to say whether or not, like, this was strictly an Illumination move, because, like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Because, like,
making a Luma specifically just, like, this nihilist, like, embracing and being excited for just dying, like, I don't know. That sounds like something Nintendo would probably do too.
Because it's in a whole Luma's nature to just, like, become a star one day. So, it's not really them just being like, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. I mean, it's kind of like that in the movie, but at least it's not, like, in a malicious way in the Luma's mind. It's more like fulfilling its destiny if it dies. So it gets to become the Power Star, or whatever. And I wonder if they're going to do that in the second movie. Now that we have no more Power Star in the first, this Luma is going to be the one to become the next Power Star. They might do that. We'll have to see. Because, like, if this Luma becomes the new Power Star for the sequel, I wouldn't be surprised, now that Mario and Luigi use it at the end of the movie and such. But yeah, Luigi's now all caged up. What are we going to do? Well, we'll come back to him in a bit, because this is his last major piece in the movie that he's going to be used in, plot-wise. Because after this, Luigi kind of gets pushed to the curb, and it's just all Mario from here on. Because all Luigi really does is, like, stick around with Mario in Brooklyn, he gets captured, and then he's caged, and that's kind of it. It's like, oh, that's kind of sad. I wanted to see Luigi get more, but that probably would have led to a third act breakup that's so typical for animated movies nowadays. So I get why they did it in the end. So now we finally arrive at the Kong Kingdom, and we get Take On Me.
At Kong Island.
At Kong Island, yeah. And we get Take On Me again. We went through this, we would have much preferred Brian's score. But you get some nice references here and there. We get to see Swanky, which is fun. I think we see another recognizable Kong on the way to Cranky's area. Yeah, I will say the place looks like it's run by Kongs that literally just drive cars all around. They're known for having like TVs and stuff like that in promos of like Smash Bros and everything. So it's nice to see them like this super sophisticated area of like, whoa, we have cars and TVs and stuff like that and whole battle arenas. So they arrive at Cranky's domain, I suppose. Fred Armisen's Cranky Kong. Most people had a problem with this. I don't see the issue. I was okay with how he sounded in the movie. What were your thoughts?
I kind of see it because like I don't get the sense that like this is cranky. Like he doesn't sound cranky. He sounds more crusty than cranky.
Yeah. I mean, I would have also liked
so I could kind of see it. Didn't bother me much, if at all, but like I could kind of see why people didn't like it.
Yeah, because I think people were expecting him to lean towards the voice from the old Donkey Kong Country show, where he did sound and act pretty like mangy and cranky all the time, which I would have liked to hear. That would have been fun. Kind of like the Gilbert Godfrey-esque voice that people think for him. That would have been fun. Oh, if only we had gotten that, but alas. The Cranky we got in the end, while not perfect, I think still did alright. Still think, now that we've gotten that, like, that whole Donkey Kong Country short, from that one YouTuber, I forgot his name again, with the Kremlings and King Karol's
Crocodile Isle.
Yeah. We need...
It's a beautiful short.
We really need, because we now know the actor of Karol, or K-Rool, is willing to voice act. If they do a Donkey Kong Country movie, make K-Rool the villain, and have that same voice actor play K-Rool, and bring General Clump, and all the others back, and Crusher. I need those guys back. Because genuinely, outside of the horrible animation and the music video pieces, I liked the old Donkey Kong Country show. I thought it was pretty funny. Karol saved it though, I will admit. So, we get to Cranky Kong, sidetracking enough here, and he refuses to help. Pretty straightforward, to help Peach. He's pretty sarcastic in ruling his kingdom. It's like, well, if you don't help us, the Jungle Kingdom is next. And Mario just steps forward and says, we're not leaving without your army. And Cranky obviously laughs in his face. Says, okay, if you beat my son in a battle arena, then you can have my army. Mario, of course, accepts the challenge without a second thought. And we cut immediately to Mario stepping towards the battle arena. Again, people think this was fast pacing. I did not feel this way. What did you think of them just cutting immediately to Mario preparing?
I mean, like, I don't know what else they could have done in between.
Yeah. Because
I didn't really get the sense that there were other pieces of the movie I felt were fast-paced. I don't think this one particularly felt fast. I don't think it felt fast-paced.
No. Because people said there was a scene missing here in between Cranky telling him you can fight my son and also just cutting to Mario walking towards the arena. I think it was fine. That nothing felt missing from that for me, so I guess it's okay. I'm pretty sure that'll just wear off over time. People will be okay with it, because out of all the fast-paced complaints, that's got to be the least fast-paced that I think the movie got, because it feels fine for me. But of course, we enter the battle arena of the Kongs, just waiting for Mario and DK to show up. And, you know, we see Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong, and man, there's Chunky! He's alive! Which is awesome, he's not dead! Sir. Finally, he's alive again. And we get DK. And, you know, the DK rap by Grant Kirkhope, again, was not credited. Very sad about that. Credit him, again, in the final Blu-ray release and whatnot on DVDs and digital. Just change the credits. It's just 2 words. It's not that hard, guys. So the fight begins. Seth Rogen's DK. I don't have a problem with this either, even if it is just Seth Rogen's voice coming out of a model of Donkey Kong. I don't have an issue with this.
I loved it.
I loved it. Just seeing DK do the Seth Rogen laugh twice. Yeah. Mario. Also, another establishment with DK. He's got dad issues. We also get a slight sound of what Diddy Kong will sound like when this crowd is completely silent after Cranky silences them.
We get into the fight with DK and Mario here. They incorporate like power-ups into this thing. The mini mushroom from New Super Mario Brothers. He tries to grab a fire flower, and then Donkey Kong blows it out like he does in Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. This whole fight I thought was just really, really fun. Just like a lot of action between the two, but like DK also rocking the shit out of Mario throughout most of it. But Mario keep not getting back up every single time, not quitting. Just playing into his whole stubbornness, his whole character, but also the metaphor for like lives. And us playing Mario games. He's getting his shit rocked. DK punches him upwards, and Peach shouting out to Mario, and Mario with like dazed, and he's just like, "It's a me." I thought that was pretty funny. And he barely grabs onto a block underneath a question block that has the bell power up, the super bell, to where he goes Cat Mario, and he basically wins the fight through that because of his cat-like reflexes, getting some punches, clawing him several times. I thought it was really smart. And it ending on the pounce move from 3D Worlds was really cool too.
This is a slight like beginning just after the fight scene. Peach saying you just don't know when to quit, and Mario's of course holding an ice bag up to his cheek, saying, "Oh, I never thought that was a good thing." Yeah, it's great. And it's now we begin the rivalry of just like friendly or frenemies really between Donkey Kong and Mario, saying, "I let him win just for the record." Really, why would you do that?
He's a filthy
Mind your own
Smash
business.
player. He just like me.
But it's now we begin the Mario Kart segment of we're preparing our karts in the garage area, which is cool because we get like the Mario Brothers, not the Mario Brothers, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe music. Awesome. Did not expect to hear that in the soundtrack at all because again I was expecting old stuff. We get we got an AC/DC song. Great, cool. Should have been the original music again. There's so many decisions. This is an Illumination thing. I think they're pretty much on contract to have songs, at least 6, over their soundtracks in the movies, which they should stop doing, because their movies become so much more palpable without them. I mean, except for, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, that wasn't the worst decision ever. Their karts prepared. I like that Mario didn't go for something like the Wild Wing or whatever. He goes for the standard basic kart from Mario. Peach goes with a bike, which is nice, and Toad goes with a monster truck. Winging in the Riz with those glasses. Yes, or the sunglasses, my man. He does a little sup with his head and loses control while he revs the truck. Rum, rum, rum. Mario and Peach pull up next to Donkey Kong and prepare to leave. Donkey Kong just whispers, "I hate you," down to Mario, and they all drive off to the outside.
And then it cuts to Bowser prepping for the wedding in his wedding hat from Odyssey, and then Kamek dressed up as Peach, and then the Blue Koopa General relaying what happened with Mario fighting Donkey Kong. And so then they start their move on ambushing them to Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to them driving onto Rainbow Road. But before that, there's that shot of Peach driving up and Peach looking back with her ass right in the camera.
Every time the word Peach is mentioned, it's like, well, they don't call her Peaches for nothing, do they? Hey, old boys, I think we won. In terms of character design, Peach won everywhere, in every corner of the polygons.
Super Mario Kart, that game's Rainbow Road plays, and it's like this angelic chorus kind of sounding. Sounds great, though. Sounds beautiful.
It's gorgeous, because like, when we all saw the Rainbow Road theme in the trailers, or Rainbow Road scene, we had to wonder what rendition of Rainbow Road would they use, because there's so many. Would they use the Wii version or the Double Dash version? I didn't even think about the classic NES version that they went with. It was the NES version, right?
Yeah. Basically. SNES.
SNES, yeah. And it's a classic though, so I'm glad they went with like the original, because it sounds so beautiful reorchestrated like this. Just hearing our childhood themes put in a big budget orchestration. I almost felt like this was the first time in the movie I almost felt like crying, but I held off my tears because I was just loving it so much. It's like, no, don't cry yet. And it's now we begin the ambush from the Koopa Troop, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's like a whole action scene, some Mario Kart shenanigans, bananas and shells being tossed everywhere, but Mario also stomping on Koopas, and Peach butt stomping and like kicking Koopas back and forth. Toad's cart gets messed up, but then Peach catches him as he's falling. The blue Koopa General in his giant, like, tank-like thing, almost trying to catch Mario, but Mario able to dodge it with, like, little mini turbo boosts, just barely. And then he, like, falls off one part of Rainbow Road to another. I want to say that's, like, a reference to, like, shortcuts in Mario Kart 64 and Wii's Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that, too. Something fun as well with one of the Koopa Troop's bikes. It was the bullet bike. It was like a stylized version of the bullet bike, but I was like, dude, that's the bullet bike! I remember using that all the time! That was so fun!
Just like how Peach's bike is the Sneakster and Toad's is the Tiny Titan.
Yeah. All these references were incredible, and right when the blue Koopa Shell General thinks he's crushed Mario, and he says like multiple times throughout this thing, it's like, you're a dead man, Mario, it's time to die. It's like, they're saying die and kill and stuff a lot in a Mario film. It's like, wow, nice work, guys. Didn't tone it down for the bad guys at all. But Mario eventually, like, he manages to stomp on the Koopa's head.
Yeah, and then Donkey Kong launched like a barrel at his, like a rocket barrel at the cart, and it blows up.
Blowing it up,
But then, like, he walks out of the flames, and then, like, he actually goes into a blue shell, just like in Mario Kart.
And becomes a suicide bomber.
I was waiting for that to happen. I think all of us were waiting for that to happen.
We all knew at first, like, when we saw the main poster and we saw him on it just above Kamek, we were like, he's gonna do something. In that Mario Kart segment, he's gonna blow up. But I was wondering, are they gonna keep him alive after that, or is he just dead once he does that? No, he's dead.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He's gone. That was a suicide scene completely. Bowser's minions, he picked the right guys to be his minions because they are loyal to the end. They are willing to literally kill themselves to stop whatever Bowser wants stopped. The piece of Rainbow Road that Mario and Donkey Kong are on explodes along with the blue shell, and they fall down to the depths below while the Kong army are taken away by the clown cars, which are pretty cool to see in movie form. And the rest of the Koopa Troop. Peach and Toad make their way back to the Mushroom Kingdom, and far below, Mario and Donkey Kong fall, still arguing while they're falling. I don't want the last thing I hear before I die to be your insult. Mario saves Donkey Kong only to have, like, and this scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it. We see some sort of, like, something resembling teeth with Donkey Kong's car as Mario swims up, and it's like, it chomps down, and two eyes open. Is that the Unagi eel from 64? Hold on a second. And sure enough,
yep.
It was. It's actually in the movie. Wow. I didn't expect to see the, like, that is a deep cut as well, like, just thinking, like, well, it's not too deep of a deep cut, but still, with all the references we've gotten thus far, by comparison, they're kind of subtle, but seeing the Unagi eel actually be a dangerous and dark threat, and playing into, like, some, well, I think you and I both know who I'm talking about here. One certain YouTuber was quite scared of the Unagi eel as a kid. I wonder if that had taken him by surprise while watching the movie.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe. But it definitely caught me by surprise, because hearing it growl, and then eventually swallow up Mario and DK, was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what Donkey Kong was expecting when he told Mario to swim, because it's already right there. It's a sea creature. And it will move 10 times faster than both of you put together, but whatever. So Peach returns to the castle and tells the council to evacuate everyone. And Bowser's castle approaches the Mushroom Kingdom, and Peach stands her ground, and again, in that jumpsuit. So yeah, Bowser shows up with the superstar, and proposes, saying, "Get some real love really makes a guy come out of a shell," pulling the Riz face. Just completes the comic. I told you that line wouldn't work.
You're doing great.
Love that he's a wingman throughout the whole movie. He's just a total suck-up to Bowser.
And he tortures Toad as, like, collateral when Peach, like refuses, so then, like, she's forced to agree.
Yeah.
And then like, it cuts back to the eel, inside the eel's mouth, where Mario and DK are arguing. But then, they're, like, DK's talking about how, like, well, at least you're not gonna die with your dad thinking you're a joke. Well, like, Mario does say, like, he thinks, like, his dad thinks he's a joke. And DK's like, well,
your dad's right.
Your dad's right! I haven't met your dad, but he sounds brilliant.
Just go into a recorder and smash something, Smash Monkey.
He's just such an asshole for no reason, but like that's like so funny. Especially towards Mario, it works.
It does, because I hope they continue, even after this movie, when they won the day, I hope they continue this frenemies dynamic between them, just for the rest of the movies they have planned, because it so works. It makes so much sense, considering way back when Mario was first a thing with Donkey Kong, like the first arcade game, like, oh my god. Please keep this frenemies dynamic forever.
Yes.
It avoids character progression between them, but please never change this. It works too well to be just tarnished and taken down. Oh, shit, we completely forgot in the scene before this, the prisoners are told they're going to be sacrificed at the royal wedding, which is funny because one of the penguins, before they're told about the sacrifice, it's like, yay, we're going to be at the royal wedding,
where you will all be ritualistically sacrificed.
And then they all freak out. I think one of the penguins are actually... I think this might have been an animation error, but that one of them was cross-eyed. I think that might have been... Either that was an animation error or intentional. Kind of like a derpy MLP situation. I'm not sure. Of course, now that... let's skip forward again. Mario and Donkey Kong escape the eel by using one of the rockets from Donkey Kong's swallowed car. And we cut back to the wedding. And they're using, like, the classic Peach wedding-esque theme for the wedding, which is cute. King Bob-omb and King Boo were there, as well as some Koopa Troopers and Goombas, Piranha Plants and all that. I think they made a subtle... One of my friends, Glitch SFM, said there might have been a subtle reference to the Infinite One-Up, like, Koopa shell thing, when King Bob-omb sits on one of the Koopa Troopers and knocks their shell back and forth multiple times. That might have been a reference to that.
Yeah, that was cute. I don't think so. I can't remember. I don't know. I have no idea. It is kind of scuffed that King Boo's designed strictly the Mario Kart one, but like at the same time, that's the one most people remember him for, not the Luigi's Mansion one. So I get why they went for it, but still, King Boo and King Bob-omb in the movie at all. Not expecting. They didn't have to do it. They did, and that's awesome.
Yeah, there were no demands for cuts like that, but they still put their fingers out. It's like, the amount of care and detail put into this just always amazes me. It's incredible. But, of course, we cut to the back where Peach is a little unsure about this, but of course she is. She's being forced to marry Bowser. And Toad walks in with the bouquet of flowers, which unknowingly to Bowser has an ice flower hidden in there. And, of course, she's called out to begin the wedding and starts walking down the aisle. And something cute I saw on my third watching of the film. One of the Koopa Troopers is like sitting with their head in their hands looking at Peach, and they've got wide puppy eyes, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I want that Koopa Trooper. He's adorable. Bowser's in his Odyssey getup, and at this point I'm like, yes! This is lovely! It's like Odyssey as a movie. We see the prisoners being, I'll be sacrificing them in your honor. And as soon as Kamek is about to start the vows and such for Bowser and Peach, Peach just kicks him down completely, just punches him in the face, and said, "Do you really think I'd marry you? Kinda." And she pulls out the ice flower, and applies it. Queen Elsa get up, except Peach did it better. Let's all be honest. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Bro,
Peach
people were posting Mario movie spoilers without context, and Elsa was there, and I'm like, fuck, Rosalina's gonna be in the movie. But no, it was just ice flower Peach. Bro, I was so mad, but I was so confused when that happened. I'm like, oh. Sometimes spoilers without context is fun, but like sometimes I hate those so much, because then I get confused for a completely different spoiler that never happens.
Yeah. It was a subversion. That's what they'd expect us to do. Peach is just like a slay in any getup. Honestly, in this movie, her fire flower getup, normal biker, ice, everything.
Yeah, she freezes Bowser, so she's holding off all the army at the wedding. Meanwhile, Mario and Donkey Kong are trying to make their way to the castle, but they get knocked down to the Mushroom Kingdom where most of the army is. So then we get that whole platforming segment with Donkey Kong and Mario taking out Bowser's enemies, him grabbing the mushroom and giving Donkey Kong the fire flower, Fire Donkey Kong.
Fire Donkey Kong. This is the first time we got that as well.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's also messed up how we have Fire Peach and Fire Donkey Kong, but we don't have Fire Mario in this movie.
Yeah, we don't get Fire Mario. Like we almost did during the fight as well, but thanks to Donkey Kong, we were robbed.
But yeah, this whole action sequence and platforming segment was really fun, really cool. They get knocked by a Koopa shell, and then like Mario grabs a Super Leaf, goes Tanuki Mario, but they make his tail actually act exactly like how Tails' tails act in the Sonic games, like a helicopter.
Which is awesome. And the music,
And then,
has to be mentioned here in this scene.
Yeah, it swells into the athletic theme for Mario 3. But also before that, it's like the main theme for Mario 1, but it's sped up, so like it's kind of like the hurry up when it's like 100 seconds left on the clock, where the music speeds up version of the main theme for Mario, which is awesome.
This, like, everything from this scene on for action until the end of the movie is just, like, doesn't stop, and it's so perfect, and the music just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, this is, like, the peak scene of the movie, from this scene with Mario and DK fighting and getting up to the wedding onwards, is just peak action for the film. It's perfect.
Yes, it is. So good.
So they make their way out to the wedding. Peach continues to fight. One of the spears is thrown down towards the lava just next to Peach, whereas Peach picks it up and throws it down at King Bob-omb, and he's lit a match. He's gonna die, and he's freaking out about it, and he eventually explodes, and Peach loses her ice powers. And of course the ice on the chains, stopping the prisoners from going down to lava, breaks, and they continue to roll down once more. Luigi's at the bottom, running out of time. He's going to be the first to go. Luma Lee is beyond ecstatic about this. Just, whee! Yeah! And just before Luigi is completely fried to a crisp, Donkey Kong is able to make it up to the chains and pull them backwards. All the prisoners are saved. Luma Lee very much just boo. Oh my god, Luma Lee was such a perfect character throughout this whole movie, just for comedic purposes.
Mario and DK save the prisoners, and then like Bowser sees like Mario and Peach interacting, and he gets all jealous.
I love how his focus is entirely like gone from Peach as well, and is laser focused on Mario now, and is just so furious. Like, oh my god, this is one of the most the most pissed Bowser has ever been at Mario that I've ever seen, and how appropriate it is the first time, because like for years Bowser has been planning this, and then the day Mario shows up he ruins everything for him, so it's understandable how he's so pissed about this. So this is one of the coolest scenes.
He launches a bonsai bill, but he calls it a bomber bill.
The bomber bill,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
And this is when things got really intense for me, and I was like on the edge of my seat. So the bonsai bill is launched directly towards Peach's castle, and the fact that the soundtrack for this scene is called Tactical Tanuki makes me think that bonsai bill was awesome. Like a nuke.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was, because it made a massive explosion in the warp zone, and the warp zone's like this never-ending like space, and it was like a big explosion enough to like drag everyone, including Bowser's castle, all to Brooklyn. So it definitely was like a nuke.
Yeah. And, like, good job on Mario saving it when he did, because, like, the music as it, like, flames down towards the castle, it is, like, the music feels like it's a very life or death situation, and it very much is. Mario trying to get his attention, then eventually whacking him in the eye. And, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time we have seen the bonsai bills with any kind of sentience, because they never really changed direction.
Yeah, because he yelps like a dog, and then, like, he stops on, like, the flag on top of Peach's castle, and then, like, looks directly at Mario.
Yeah, like, the moment he opens his eyes, and just his pupils are so small, sits staring at Mario, and just, like, glances at him, and squints his eyes, just, like, with that massive shit-eating grin as Mario flies away. That was cool. And pretty scary with the scale of how big it is. It's so cool. So Mario he gets chased through the Mushroom Kingdom towards the pipe. And it was at this point, it's like, Mario, what are you doing? You're gonna kill your family by sending that thing to Brooklyn. But of course that's not what happened. And
I don't know if he remembers that, or like, I know he definitely remembers like the whole warp zone part of it, because I don't think it was gonna send straight back to Brooklyn itself.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten about the warp zone, because we'd seen pipes since just be one area straight to an X without anything in between. But
yeah, at least with clear pipes we see like their actual direction, and how there's like it's like one connected path. We don't see like the middle part of a pipe. We see one pipe lead to another place. We don't see like how it's constructed in the middle for the most part.
Yeah,
and one interesting ones I like to imagine.
An interesting thing, when the bonsai bill goes into the warp zone, you can see the pipe briefly where it came from turn black from green. That's interesting.
Yeah, and the bonsai bill exploding in the warp zone like kind of sucks everyone in, including Bowser's castle, and then Mario and everyone gets sent back to Brooklyn. Mario almost gets ran over by Spike.
Yeah.
But then Spike's just like, you almost did. It's like he almost dented his car or something.
Yeah, and then the whole castle smashes through the ground, and Spike just runs away completely pissed.
Blocks fly. The superstar gets knocked out of the castle too and just lays on the street.
It's like Luigi just trips over and gets trapped in a dumpster can or whatever, or a trash can, which is pretty funny. And Mario quickly recovers, seeing the star, and Bowser, now just free from his ice imprisonment. He is so pissed in this scene, like, the way he just growls out Mario's name and jumps out in front of the star, and just wipes the floor with him, like, grabs him violently by the entire arm and punches him at least, like, 50 feet backwards, like, into a car, and says, I was finally gonna be happy, and now you're gonna suffer just like me. Like, wow, Bowser, Jesus. Implying he's been miserable all these years. Poor guy. Like Jack Black said in an interview, he's a misunderstood character who just wants to be happy. And of course Mario's taken that away from him. So yeah, makes sense why he's pissed. And gets punched into Punch-Out Pizzeria. Mario is now completely covered in bruises, and like, he looks in immense pain. Like, literally, he's crawling to find a safe spot. And Bowser just claims
Bowser taunts him, but then like Peach and Donkey Kong and Toad are all like trying to gang up on him.
Yeah, and we again hear Bowser's roar, which is cool. And it's at this point Mario feels like he's losing hope. He's running out of options. He doesn't feel like he has enough strength to beat this dragon monster. And it also plays out like, I think this is the payoff for the scene where Mario said to Luigi in Punch-Out in the first scene, you can't be scared all the time, but now it's flipping it on his head. Like, at this point Mario is scared. He doesn't feel like he can do it, because he's actually swearing.
It also works too, because like Luigi's courage shines whenever he's around Mario too. Like, he feels like he can't do anything unless like Mario's around, so like their personalities balance each other out.
Yeah, and despite all adversities, the TV glitches and goes back onto their commercial, saying the Super Mario Brothers are here to save Brooklyn, and Mario just musters up the last of the confidence that he has, and walks out and says, "Let's go." Now this is where that feels appropriate to have instead of the Donkey Kong fight, because he felt beat up when he said that line originally. So it's nice to have it here where he actually is beat up. I think Mario basically saved Donkey Kong from being impaled by Bowser's claws, because he was fully ready to just stab Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he was.
But Mario steps out, says, "Leave him alone." Luigi peeks out the dumpster and sees that despite everything, his brother is still fighting. And Bowser says, "You don't know when to quit." Yeah, I've been told that before. And Peach kicks a Koopa shell, which knocks the star out of Magic Koopa's grasp, and passes to Mario and says, "Go get the star!" And Bowser just acting like, I don't know if I was the only one that laughed here, but he acts like a complete 2-year-old when he says, "No, that's mine! It's my star, I found it first!" Mario, of course, runs for the star, but not before getting blasted by Bowser with fire. And just before it hits Mario, Luigi grabs the sewer cover, which might have been from when they first went in the sewer and in the flood scene, and holds it up against Bowser and the fire. And at first I thought, wait, what? How does that stop Bowser's flames? And I'm like, wait, that's how steel and fire works. I had to take myself out of the movie for a sec to acknowledge, oh wait, no, that's normal. But of course Luigi is no longer scared, and he's the one defending Mario, and so nothing can hurt us as long as we're together, right? So Mario reaches out just as the cover begins to melt. He reaches out to Luigi, and they go and grab the Power Star together, because Mario knows he can't beat Bowser by himself, and he wants his brother to be there alongside him. And they're covered by the flames. We don't know if they're still alive, but of course we see they have the invincibility now, and the invincibility theme is playing, and I'm like, yes, kick his ass!
Beautiful.
Funny thing is, Bowser actually uses his foot to try and kick them backwards, only to have the floor be earthbended and shockwaved, and Bowser's shocked face to be like, oh! Which is just a memeable face to me, his shocked face of just, oh! And they kick him, or they punch him, way back where his other minions are. Picks himself up and says, "Rip him to pieces!" It's like, what does Bowser expect is going to happen to his minions? They all get the floor wiped with them. What was he expecting?
He's just pissed.
He's just so pissed. He's like, kill him, go, do something. Of course, Luigi quickly saves Spike as well from some Shy Guys and a Goomba, Koopa Troopers, and such, which is nice. And Spike is like, Luigi? Hold on. Mario and Luigi continue to wipe the floor with the bad guys, making their way to Bowser. They 64 his ass. There was no other way they could have done that. They grab him by the tail and chuck him in the air, and punch him down right back to the ground.
Forward air him, and then they bro stomp him. It was beautiful.
Awesome. You can even slightly see, like, just before the shockwave happens, the way Mario jumps up again from Bowser's head is just a classic Mario jump. Like, yes, it's perfect. And Luigi's kind of like a punch downwards. I think that's kind of a reference to Smash. Maybe, if that was the thing in Smash.
Well, Mario's is at least.
Yeah. So, Bowser's defeated, he's down. And Peach walks up to him with the mini mushroom. And Bowser's like, this isn't what I expected, but give me another chance. No! Just shoves the mini mushroom in his mouth. And he's tiny, and he's put in a jar. And I think that might be a reference to...
Of course, the jar.
That might have been a reference to, was it 3D Land or 3D World? Where the fairies were put in the jars.
3D World, but I was thinking Galaxy 2, because Bowser did shrink at the end of Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I think him shrinking was a Galaxy 2 reference, and 3D World put in the jar was that. So that's nice. You can even see him kind of like murmuring what Mario says. Like if you focus on Bowser while Mario's talking, he says, "See, I told you to get your pet turtle." And you could just see Bowser going me inside the jar.
That's funny.
And of course the day is saved, and everyone's cheering for them. Mario's parents are proud of him, including his dad. It's like, oh, you were amazing. Spike just leading the helm, saying, let's hear it for the Super Mario Brothers. It's like, you're only saying that because they saved Brooklyn, not because, like, that's a personal...
Fake-ass fan.
Fake-ass
fan.
Guarantee in the second movie, after a couple months passed, he's going to be back to his old ways. The day is saved, everything's nice. There's news article about the brothers saving Brooklyn. And we end with Mr. Blue Sky and Mario and Luigi just grabbing some coffee, and it's like, you think, oh, they just moved back into Brooklyn? What about the Mushroom Kingdom? Psych! Nope! They live in the Mushroom Kingdom now in a little cottage. It would have been nice if they lived, like, out in the valley, kind of like Paper Mario style house that they live in. That would have been nice too, the little cottage.
That'd be cute.
That would be nice, but what we got in the end was fine anyway, I suppose. They leap into the pipe, probably leaning back to Brooklyn, and it's this point where I started crying as the title scene showed up. And it says, Super Mario Brothers the movie, and the soundtrack just goes, Mario, which reminds me of the Mario, Mario, you know, the Odyssey meme.
Yeah.
And the movie's over, with Lumily just saying, oh, now that's a happy ending. Or is it? Because everything's over now, and all that's left is you and Infinite Void. Kinda makes you want to play saxophone, huh? And then we get the credits scene with a bunch of different Mario variations, including Gusty Garden Galaxy, which broke my tears even more. And of course we get a Peach's rendition from Bowser, but he's still locked up in this cage in Peach's castle now, which is hilarious. And then after the credits we get a little Yoshi teaser. Not the Mario Galaxy teaser we were wishing for, but I digress. We're getting Yoshi in the second movie. I wonder if he's gonna have the game voice or his own actual voice actor.
I mean, Yoshi's whole thing is literally just him saying Yoshi and like the high-pitched sounds and like,
yeah.
I don't know if they could give Yoshi actual dialogue. I don't know if, should they? Oh my god.
Because I always thought Yoshi his voice would sound like the Super Mario World cartoon. It's like, Yoshi, don't like meatballs.
People would hate that. People would hate that.
I also had an idea, like maybe Andrea Libman would voice Yoshi. I'm not sure. She was a voice actor for a couple characters from My Little Pony, and she can do a deeper voice, but she can also do a high-pitched voice. I don't know. It remains to be seen if they'll give Yoshi dialogue that's actually dialogue or not, but we got a while before the next movie. So that's the film. What were our thoughts on just the characters overall and the voice actors?
The characters were really good. They were all really faithful to their source material, if not entertaining. They were well written. The voice cast in general was pretty good, I'd say.
I think among my favorite, I'd have to say it was probably a cross between just the enthusiasm from Keegan and also Kamek, but also Chris Pratt for being able to pull off a good Brooklyn accent for Mario, despite all adversities and commotion happening with his marketing. I have a respect for Chris, and I will be doubting him much less going forward for Mario. Jack Black as Bowser also automatically wins.
Oh yeah, easy. Jack Black Bowser is literally probably the best voice actor.
We also want to go through the animation for this film. What do we think of how it was, how it looked?
Cool. Fantastic. And animation wise, the characters were very expressive, the colors, it was a really gorgeous movie. There's a lot of detail and care put into how the characters would emote, how they would react to one another, they would talk, their platforming actions, the actual action period, and even just the spectacle of all the locations, the Mushroom Kingdom, Rainbow Road. Even Brooklyn was pretty colorful too. It's the whole movie was just really good to look at.
Yeah, it was very pleasing for the eyes. Not a single moment felt dull whatsoever. Every set piece, like Bowser's floating castle kingdom, just the orange, goldeny, foreboding look of lava was fantastic. The dark lands of the abandoned dry bones area, very green and blues. Obviously, calling back to Luigi's Mansion again. Hopefully we get some sort of not live action, we're never touching Mario live action again, don't know why my mouth came to say that. Some sort of Luigi's Mansion movie, or at the very least a bonus feature of a short film that's 15 minutes long for Luigi's Mansion. That's also something they might do for the DVD release. I'm not sure yet, we'll have to wait and see. The best set piece of the movie is easily, to me, the Mushroom Kingdom, because it's so just full of life. It feels like they did not spare any expense on this film. And just the warp pipe, I think the best part of the Mushroom Kingdom is just from a far shot, that teaser we got of seeing Toad being here's the Mushroom Kingdom, and Mario looking up at everything, the pipe system and everything, how complicated everything is, the different styles of the mushroom houses. And also just in the scene where Mario is going through the Mushroom Kingdom with Toad up to the castle, seeing all of these different Easter eggs here and there, and selling cartridges, or selling little Yoshi coins, or you got Cappy's place, which is cool. You got the cap shop from Odyssey. The references were absolutely fantastic. Not a single thing was wrong with this. They truly have pulled their fingers out on animation, because mostly with Illumination, they do, their movies may not be perfect, but I will say, above everything for their movies, the animation never ceases to be incredible, especially in their recent Rise of Gru with Minions. That was one of their best animated movies, and I think with this movie they were aware that this was an important one to get right. Not because the last Mario movie was bad, but because they recognized Mario is a massive IP. There's a lot riding on the possibility of a fully animated Mario film. It has to be perfect or bust. We need to put everything we can into this, because Mario is gaming's Mickey Mouse. He's a beloved icon of video games. So I'm glad they cared so much about just how everything looked, and just all the character designs. The character designs alone, while still a little bit different from the video game counterparts, they didn't stray too far. With Donkey Kong, they did a unique take of both his original Rare kind of look and his newer, his original Rare look and also the original Donkey Kong game from Jumpman. So I'm glad they mixed those both together. Mentioning Rare just makes me think, I wonder if we'll ever get a Banjo-Kazooie Illumination movie. I'd kill for that, but that's unlikely. I don't know. Microsoft seem to be very protective of Banjo. But it remains to be seen, I suppose, after Smash. The way the characters are, animated like Kamek in particular, like you mentioned earlier, licking his lips before he talks every now and then. Even the Easter eggs and facial expressions when he's going in for the kiss with Bowser before the blue spiny Koopa comes in. Bowser's facial expressions when he's angry, how his pupils shrink really small. The Riz faces of everyone, absolutely fantastic. They actually went out you could hear this in a direct, they went out to study actual vehicle parts for the Mario Kart segment, which is something they didn't even need to do. They could have just come up with some wacky designs, but no, they actually went to study car parts and stuff like that. That's incredible. Now we'll move on to our favourite things about the film. Soundtrack, for me, is number one. has got to be the soundtrack.
Probably it's either characterization or animation for me.
Fair enough. I mean, like, it's like Brian and Koji for the soundtrack, I think, so much respect. And I think I wasn't even expecting there to be as much references to the music, because we've come to expect from video game movies, or just video game adaptations, I'd say, because I'm including stuff like the Cuphead show here. We aren't to expect too many musical references to the source material, only little nods here and there in the soundtrack as an Easter egg. Because Detective Pikachu had like a couple. Sonic Movie 1 hardly had any, except for the Green Hill Zone, and also the opening with him as like a little kid, which had the Sonic Mania opening. And you can hear slight rendition of the drowning music in Sonic 2, but it's treated more as an Easter egg. I hope for Sonic 3 they will take this movie and what it did into consideration with the characters and the soundtrack, specifically how well it pays tribute to the source material in completion, and just make the third film just full on Sonic. No Earth stuff, just Sonic, Sonic, Sonic. You can make the first act on Earth, but I'd love for most of the third and final Sonic film to be just full Sonic 100%, no B-plots with the humans or anything. Just have this human stuff happen alongside the main Sonic stuff in the first act. Because, like, if anything from Sam's Procrastination Station, or Sam Procrastinator said anything, they didn't mean this in a negative way, obviously. That was obvious, that they were kind of jealous of this movie, that, like, Mario got the full animated treatment and Sonic would, like, got good movies, but they would have preferred full animated productions and live action stuff. And I can see where they're coming from after Mario, and it makes a lot of sense. I kind of deviated from the soundtrack stuff there, but still, final thoughts and ratings for this movie, absolutely stellar. Because from recent cinema experience, you know, with Disney dominating the market with, well, I say dominating the market, kind of tarnishing the market a little bit, I'm not afraid to say. With the live action stuff, it's not been good. And stuff like Lightyear has bombed badly, and also Strange World. They have gotten almost Magic Railroad sense of just return in the box office, just barely breaking even. Disney's not on the brightest path right now. The Little Mermaid doesn't seem to be changing that in any way. Whereas companies like Illumination and DreamWorks and Sony all pulling their fingers out with some of the best that they've got at the moment, while Disney is just flushed down the toilet completely. And to think that Disney used to be at the top and now they are just slipping down the ladder, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, like, with the Mario movie, this easily proves, like, you can make a good animated film for a family to just go and have fun. You don't need to think about the woke crap. Even with Peach, doesn't feel that woke. Because, like, and even if it did, it's not a bad kind of woke. Because, like, I know why they changed Peach and didn't make her the damsel in distress. But that wasn't up to Nintendo and Illumination. I think they just wanted to be safe. They wanted to play this movie safe. And it makes sense why, because media since the original Mario movie has come out, or since the early 2010s, that you've gotten really, really touchy. So they found a good balance with Peach in this movie, with making her, like, a good leader to the Mushroom Kingdom, but also when she's taken away by Bowser and forced to marry, she is still a vulnerable character. So they found a good balance with Peach. Great. I'm glad they didn't just do the stupid third act breakup stuff, which is what I was afraid they were going to do when I saw Peach and Toad facing off against Bowser and his ship coming towards the kingdom in the trailers alone. But there wasn't a third act breakup. Mario and Donkey Kong were just separated from them because of the blue shell and the Unagi eel, so they kind of gloss over the Donkey Kong and Mario dynamic just to keep them as frenemies, saying, "Your dad's right!" But it's for comedic purposes, and it's actually kind of funny. I'm willing to forgive that. So keep the frenemies thing forever. Never change that. Best character design, easily Peach, because she's stacked, and I love her, and she's perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Ratings for this movie, out of 5 stars, 4, because of only 3 little criticisms. 1, I wish they'd focus a little more on Mario and Luigi's dynamic together, or together. just as brothers. It was established like decently well in the opening 14 minutes, but once they were separated, there wasn't much time for it. But it still felt good to see them reunited when Mario saved him from like dying in lava, and just seeing them hug together and be like, everything's gonna be fine now. Another thing, we didn't get a payoff with Luma Lee. That's another critique. I just wish we got something with Rosalina, but I think for the second movie we will. So if that's the case with the second film, I'll take that back. And the third thing is the pop cultural music. It just, like, Take On Me and Thunderstrike, it wasn't necessary. Should have kept the original soundtrack by Brian. Also, 3.5 issues actually, Grant Kirkhope a third time. Credit him, please, in the final version. But, yeah, 4 stars out of 5. I absolutely recommend this film to a family just wanting to have a fun time with a movie. It comes out on digital pretty soon. In fact, by the time this video is actually like done and released, it will be out on digital. So if there's any families out there who want to just pick up a film and just have fun with it, not worry about the woke stuff Disney's doing right now, Mario's right here, baby. Second attempt at a cinematic movie, second to best, first to worst. Let's pretend the first movie didn't exist. That doesn't matter. This is the definitive Mario film, and I'm glad Nintendo Illumination cared so much. SMT, what were your final thoughts and ratings on the film overall?
I mean, like, it's just a fun time, even if you're, like, very, very, very light on Mario in terms of, like, knowledge and fanaticism. Like, you don't even have to be a big Mario fan to enjoy the movie. Its pacing's a little too fast. They don't sit on too many character stuffs, like, as much as they should. And as far as, like, movies go, it doesn't do anything groundbreaking or new that you haven't seen in other movies. But it's just a fun time for Mario fans. It's just being a fun Mario movie. You got a lot of, like, Mario elements and power-ups and stuff just tossed in there in this movie. Characters are well characterized. The soundtrack's really good. It's a beautiful movie to look at. Like, it's just a fun time, whether or not you are a big Mario fan or not. And the bigger you are, obviously, you're gonna have more fun with it. But even if not, it's just a solid, entertaining family film. If you're, like, probably an average moviegoer, you could probably rate it, like, a 7 out of 10 or, like, a 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you're a Mario fan, though, you're likely going to teeter more on, like, the 9 out of 10 or 4 stars, 4.5. That's basically how I would rate the movie. Like, average 7 out of 10. But for Mario fans, that's, like, an easy 9 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's it.
Alright.
I could probably end it off there.
So yeah, to all the Mario fans out there, you will absolutely get everything you ever wanted out of a Mario movie. Maybe even more out of this movie, and if not, well, the sequel will certainly give you more of the same. Or more of something new, but still fun. And if you're just, you know, a kid who likes bright flashing colours, you will love this movie too. To the older new generation of Mario fans, we've all gotten something out of this film, now that it's it runs in theatres in the UK. You lucky folk in the US. It's done here. It's not done over there, though, so if it's still in theatres when this video comes out, go watch it again, because I know you've all watched it once. Go see it again.
I've seen it 6 times.
I would have seen it 10 by now had it not stopped being in theatres. But yeah, that's all from us, guys. Thank you for listening to our lengthy review. I've been recording for 2 hours and 43 minutes. Oh, man. It's going to be nice to edit all this. Yay, I'm going to have to throw away a whole week to get this edited. But thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been Super Mario T and the Amazing Game of 111, our thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Also, if you want to check out the full review of Super Mario T and just his thoughts on the film, you can check that out in the description below, as well as his channel. He's done a full review on the film. Absolutely recommend it. Absolutely amazing guy. Loves Nintendo content much like myself and beyond. Thanks all for watching. Thank you for joining me, SMT. It's been an honor to have you here.
No problem. Anytime.
And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Stay super.